Here comes Captain Joe.
There we go. There's Joe.
I said, go. You already got something. God, don't you want 3 dogs?
No, we wouldn't deprive you of having your
I'm,
puppers.
I'm gonna put them next to the ad for all my Avada drone.
No, you're not. I don't believe it. Do you, Dominic?
No.
No.
I gotta change this shirt, so I'm not procrastinating anymore. Selling the
Yes.
dogs. Selling the dogs and the drones. DJI piece of shit.
All I can say is thanks for the link to Stream Time Live so I could watch that thunderstorm. That was great.
I told you that, huh, Paul?
Yep.
Yeah.
Paul called me last night, said, did I wake you up? I said, no. He says, well, I want to show you this. And I did. I said, well, let me send it to Dominic.
Yeah, I watched that while I was having lunch. So it was very interesting.
I said, Dominic would want to see this.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a bit of excitement for the day.
Yeah, that looked pretty good.
Yeah.
And we haven't had a good one. We've had good ones, but we haven't one exactly like that probably in a couple of months.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
And we-
actually
we
just
do for
stalled
one.
right out, you know?
Yeah.
Been a good year since we've had something like that.
Hey, Corey Mano's here. Drone shot.
Sorry.
Yeah, but we're now in hurricane season, so guess what that means?
Yeah.
So we're gonna start getting crazy trends. They're ready. We got a depression forming either today or tomorrow in the Gulf.
Really?
No. Go. But it's gonna come up in the middle of the Gulf and then hook a left and go back into Corpus Christi area.
Okay.
That's what
Jody?
they're saying. I haven't looked at it yet. Because that's the one that I said was coming across the Apalachicola a couple of weeks ago.
Mhm.
That's supposed to be the 17th and 18th. So I'm gonna go look at it in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I got the same Nash Roberts, that guy I was telling y'all about. He used to be the weathercaster. That anytime anything was happening, they call him. He come out of mothballs. He lived in Folsom, Louisiana, right up here. He had a house that was built like you went into like a berm, and it was like underground.
Mm.
That's how he lived.
Yeah.
And this guy, he didn't work with computers. He looked at he had computers, but he didn't do all the big graphics.
Yeah.
He put a chalkboard out there and write it out and say, "We're here. This is the trend. This is what's happening. This is where it's going to go in," and put a couple of lines. And he was about 99.9% right. And he used to use this one website. It's the one I've been using, and it's pretty close. Because what it does, it uses all the models, and
Yeah.
it gives all the scenarios over the years, and kind of picks it up, and it works pretty close. Hold on, I got to yell at a dog.
Uh-oh.
He gets up there and he climbs in my son's bag he takes to work,
Mhm.
and he must smell something my son had in there. And I look up and he'll be inside the bag. It's like a gym bag, right? He'll be inside
Yeah.
the bag, pulling shirts out, a sock out, or something. You're being bad.
Oh, Don.
No. No. Yeah. They're eating food and you wouldn't want a treat. It's all gone. Look. Get this site up. I want to look at it. Been wanting to look at it the last couple of days. I keep forgetting to go to it.
Sure.
It's called GFS Models Tropical Tidbits.
Oh, okay.
That's the name of it. So we're
Hmm.
at, let's see where we're at now. It's at the tip of Florida. 24 hours from now, Florida's getting it again.
Mm.
Then 48 hours in the middle of the Gulf. And then 72 hours, we're going to be in rain. 96 hours, the rain's getting more intense. So that must mean it became a depression because to the left of us around Johnny, got red and yellows. 120 hours going into Corpus Christi. It's going in right at the Mexico-Texas border. 144 hours, it's in Mexico. So there you go.
North River Animal Hospital. You have reached us during normal.
I trust those models.
Please listen to our message as options have recently.
So we're going to get a day of rain out of it, the 16th or the 17th.
For hours of operation, our address, or general information, press 2.
What's happened? Corey, Jody,
Cool cat.
Donald, and Warren, and Cool Cat. Cool Cat snuck in there.
In line. Thank you for calling North River Animal Hospital. This is Emily. How can I help you?
Hi, Emily, Paul Murray. How are you doing?
Should have been here this morning. We were on all kind of spectrums.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I mean, I can't even go through the list. So my Bible wrote down this list. You'd have never thought this all could have been said in this one show.
That's interesting.
I
Yeah, they
had to
started out-
schedule an appointment for Mia,
Yep.
Tuesday at 3:00 p.m. Mia suffers from what's called bird claws. Her nails grow like this, like she's gonna hold
Okay.
on to something up, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it starts to push them sideways and stuff, and she can hardly walk.
Oh no.
Well, Tino's got the ones that they get to a certain level and they start twisting. And he's at the point right now where he gets up after sleeping for a while and he takes a step and he stops and he kind of positions his foot, then he walks. And I put him on the bed last night and I pinned him down trying to cut him. And this sucker was giving me all kind of fit. I may have to get my daughter to come hold him or me hold him and my daughter cut him. Because they're easy to cut. I mean, I got a machine, I got the ones I have, has a
Yeah.
little sensor in it. I can bring it
Yeah.
all the way up to the quick and then bring it down and click it. And it's never gonna hit it.
Yeah.
And it don't hurt him. He knows that. He just don't like it. I'm gonna buy that thing that you
Fine.
hang them in. That they hang in, and I can grab that
Oh,
foot
yeah,
and clip
yeah,
them
and
off.
they can't. But they've done that before with Mia, but usually me and two technicians can wrestle her around, but they have that harness and
Yeah.
it's got a lift like this. They put
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
harness on her, hook it to the lift and crank it up, and she can't
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
can't go anywhere.
I don't have any place to hook it, or I'd have one already. I would have had it a long time ago.
Well, what you need to do is buy one of those. Well, of course, you don't have the space. Like an engine puller, you know. It's got the
Yeah.
No, I don't know, Brian. Nothing's happened good here.
Yeah, Corey was talking about the weather alert that he got. He's over in Canada.
Hmm.
Corey, I don't know if it's still there or not, but you can go to Streamtime Live and use the slider bar and go back to last night at about what would you say, Joe, 9:30, 10 o'clock?
Yeah,
About 10
9:30, 10
o'clock.
o'clock. Yeah,
and you can see the thunderstorm that was happening over the lake, and it just went on and on and on.
yeah. It'll be there for a couple more hours until it goes back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very interesting. Would you stop it?
I'm just gonna see if I can't pull it up still. Let's see.
Yeah, you can.
So on Pilot Institute this morning.
Yeah.
This is what Johnny must have been telling me about. Pilot Institute said that it's called the Airborne Pilot Safety Association, Law Enforcement Drone Association, and Drone Responders. They said they represent about 6,000 agencies between police, fire, and first responders for
Hmm.
drone programs and agricultural groups. And the agricultural group all sent stuff to Congress telling them they oppose the ban and what it's going to do to them.
Hmm.
So that's a start. They said that if
Yeah,
you go on
it's starting to
Stefanik's
get more
Twitter,
serious.
yeah, if you get in Stefanik's Twitter, they said there's nothing but negative comments on there. There's a very few comments that aren't negative.
That's
Yeah.
as
That are
far as it'll go
positive.
back.
Yeah, it's not going to go back.
No, I thought it'd be.
That's 11 hours, so we missed it by about
It's
3 hours.
about 2 hours before it, but let's
okay.
see what this is here. But it shows it out there,
Yeah,
but you can't.
what a shame.
Yeah.
So it's getting serious now that they're writing. I took excerpts out of this and I sent it to all of them again.
Yeah,
And even agricultural said that they're going to lose the whole industry because they're using drones now.
Yep.
So hopefully, and they're saying that this thing needs to be pulled out. They're going against the defense bill too, saying you need to pull it out of the defense bill. Don't try to hide it. So it's and that's what I've been saying. That's why I'm not as worried about this, is because all these people now are getting on the ball with it. That's going to be lawsuits.
Yep.
They're going to be an injunction on it. I'm telling you. If they pass it, there'll be an injunction on it, and they will fight it. It might be in the courts for 10 years.
Yeah.
That's
It'll
what I'm
just
looking
drag
at.
on.
Yeah, that's what I think it's going to do. And then somebody's going to be in like Don said this morning. Somebody may become the adult in the room.
Well, the thing
You
of
know,
it
and
is,
figure it out.
is they're trying to legislate morality, which is what the other countries are doing. But you have a choice as an American what you're going to buy.
I agree, but but they're saying that it is a security issue. But they're not showing us why, and they said they can't show us why.
Mm.
It's just like in the Trump trial. Oh, he committed a crime, but we're not going to tell you what the crime is.
Yeah.
Because that's basically what they were saying.
Crazy.
It's like we're too stupid. I'm too stupid to vote for you again. That's just how I feel.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried anymore.
Did you get a response to when you sent that in?
I got a couple of them right off the bat. I got a phone call, like I said, from Steve Scalise a couple months ago when I first started doing it. Stop. He hears the kids out of the pool. Boy, I hate that. That's what I hate about the summertime. He'll hear something.
What? Let's say they had free range. Would they want to run out there and play with them, or just nag them?
All he wants to do is bark at him.
Just bark at them. Okay.
Yeah, he just wants to let me know there's somebody outside.
Cause what my thought was, you know, maybe they just want to be friendly, like, hey, I'm here. Come on, we'll play together, you know? But Mia's not that, well, Mia is friendly. She's not overly friendly. Like you would think.
Hey, Jonathan.
Hey, Jonathan. Hey, Dominic, I sent you my job offer this morning, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you the flight that I showed everybody this morning. Because when I put it up there, I got criticized anyway.
No.
A few people turned different names to Karen.
No.
Let me find it. Hold on. Where'd it go? I might not be able to send it to you. I'm gonna have to show it to you.
Yeah.
It might be too big. Yep, it says too big. Hold on.
Okay.
I'll just show it. I'm not proud.
What's Accretio's first name?
Warren.
Warren, okay.
It-
Warren says
Aparicio.
Congress is famous for hiding the sausage.
Yeah, we know that.
Waypoint says the Air 3 Fly More combo with the screen controller is
1239.
$12.39. Pretty tempting.
Yeah. Okay, here you go, Dom. Let me move the music down a little bit. I didn't put the sound on it.
Well, you get the birds, don't you?
Yeah, but this is where I lost connection right here. And when I lost the connection, I said, well, I better go up. And I have nothing right here. Everything went black.
Oops.
So did you have to go retrieve it out of the tree?
No, it didn't. It was on the ground, upside down.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So what happened is it kept bouncing around and it stopped bouncing around. And then I think what happened was that maybe because I had, like I said, I had green all up in there, all over the drone. So what I think happened is when it fell out, yeah, it tumbled out, and then when it hit the ground, the battery came loose. It
Mm.
didn't fall out; just the connection came off. So that's why I thought it was shorted out. But this morning, like yesterday, Paul said to try with the sticks, and it started. So I said, okay, it's not the start issue. It's got to be the motion controller. So I looked online and it said, if it's not working, press it, press. And if it beeps, go press and see if it beeps. I'll wait for him to come back.
Yeah,
Dominic,
just quickly. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I gotta go.
Okay. I'll tell you later. Yeah,
So
but when I tell you, when
that worked?
I press, hold on.
Yeah, the other family members want their attention too.
Yeah, but what it did was that it said if you press it 3 times, go that real fast. And just thinking about it, I said, well, when you press it the 3rd time, it's when it takes off. So I said, we'll put my hand on top of it. So I put my hand on top of it because it's safe there. And I went 1, 2, 3, and that sucker took off on full speed right there under my hand. I had all the paperwork on my desk went flying, and I'm sitting there going, well, no shit. And then I turned it off, and then I could sit there and go tap, tap, and it start, tap, tap, and it start.
Wow.
So that must have been some kind of circuit thing in there. And I bet you that was something to do when it fell.
Sure. It probably
works.
went to a fault or something, you know?
That's probably what it was. But I mean, the dogs took off. I think, you know how loud the Avata is. That it was just as loud. That dog is going wee. The dog's taking off. Paperwork flying. And it's just, and I'll tell you, if I would have moved my hand, it would have went to the ceiling.
Right.
But I was holding it right on the desk and it was safe. But it was like, God darn it. Yep. We had a little incident here the last couple of days that it kind of woke a lot of people up.
Really?
Tangible. I'm in St. Tammany Parish. Down the road is Tangipahoa Parish. That's where Johnny's at. And we had an Amber Alert come out yesterday morning about 12:30. They were looking for a black 200 Chrysler with a 3-year-old, and they gave names and all kind of stuff. And about 2 hours later, 3 hours later, they found the car. They found the 3-year-old dead, and they found the 3-year-old dead. The 6-year-old, the 4-year-old was dead. The 6-year-old was shot and injured. The mama had been brutally killed. And this is right in the neighborhood of Johnny.
Hey.
Hold on a second. What?
I told Mom.
So is everybody getting ready for the big weekend or what's going on, anybody?
No, just a normal weekend here. We had a long weekend last week.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, King's birthday on the Monday.
Jonathan.
Jonathan.
Jonathan says, Joe can't respond, Jonathan, but I think you're talking about the video of him crashing the Avata.
Okay, I'm back.
Jonathan had a question for you.
Well, I had it up. I'm finding it. Hold on.
What he said, what did that? The worst DJI drone ever created? Question mark.
That was the second worst drone. But what wound up happening with the story I was telling you is that the guy had apparently dated the mom. And the guy did not live in Laranja, which is down not that far from Johnny. But the guy apparently came back, and now they're looking for a female with him, killed the mom and kidnapped the kids. Like that. And they wound up, everything ended in Jackson, Mississippi. And apparently, according to the police chief up there, had something to do with trafficking of kids. And
Really?
he said, and the police chief was pissed. He
Why
said,
don't
"Oh, I agree." U.S. Marshals caught the guy, and the police chief said that he came out and said with human trafficking, and he said we're gonna get to the bottom of this. He said because we're looking for some more people.
Oh yeah, because usually if there's one hot spot, there's more.
Yep. So it's gonna, yeah, that happened yesterday, and that was really crazy because it's a little small towns, you know.
Well, maybe it's just me getting older, Joe, but
Also,
I see a lot of young gals pushing baby strollers in my neighborhood, left and right, and not just one, 3 in a stroller, under 2 years old. It's like they're baby factories or something. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they show my drone pretty much all the time. I know them real well over stream time. Drone shot says King Trump. It's his birthday.
Century, Tony Traffic, go ahead. The ready mix dogs will be turning and heading downbound. And then check down the Sun, Imperial, Sydney Smith, and the elevator. Over.
Just gonna check and see. The American Century is upbound. It's down about 30 minutes below the Black River. Yep, American Century. I got it when it was. It's upbound. Yeah, I got it downbound on the 12th. 2 days ago. I was just gonna take a look and see if there's any cruise ships coming this way. I don't see any on Lake Huron. The Viking Polaris is headed for Milwaukee. It's over just southwest of Mackinac.
Okay,
Viking Octanus is over there. Yep.
I was being told all his assignments he's got this week.
Oh,
He's got to go to court one day. He's got to go to work. Got to go to court for 9 in the morning. Got to work at noon.
now is he still moving?
Yeah. Middle of next month. Yep. It'll get a little quieter around here.
Well, I would imagine, the dogs go crazy every time he comes around, right?
Oh yeah. It's real good to have him here, but you got to figure I was about 3 years in my ways of nobody being here.
Cool Cat wants to know if you monitor the police frequencies, Joe.
Not a bit.
I
do
used
not.
to, but not anymore.
You
Well,
can't
because
anymore.
what happened is all the local police went digital.
Yeah, they're all digital encrypted. I've got I've actually got a radio in the back that would do it. I could punch the numbers in, but it won't pick them up. It locks them out. The only police that I could hear that they're still digital, but the only one that I could hear is state police.
Okay.
State police, the only one that is, that radio will pick up. Used to be police scanner online, used to be an app. And you used to put in where you want it and listen to them. I used to listen to New Orleans. I used to listen to New Orleans a lot.
I suppose I should turn the news on.
Now I got mine going right now.
Down in Whitebird at the Sun. And does the
It's-
best
it-
cargo on board?
Yeah, Trump went to Milwaukee yesterday to meet with the GOP over in Milwaukee
Yeah,
and talk to them. And now the Democrats are putting up billboards saying that at the meeting, all he did was trash Milwaukee and how he doesn't respect Milwaukee and how he doesn't care about them and all of this. And they said, first off, there were no cameras or mics in the room. And he came out and told everybody that there was a voter issue with secure in Wisconsin, secure voting. And that's basically what he said. And now they're trying to trash him, saying that every word out of his mouth was degrading Milwaukee. You know, they're trying everything possible. And then you got Biden over in Italy, or wherever he's at right now. And they got a paratrooper that comes down, and all the prime ministers are standing around, and they're looking at the paratrooper that he's doing some kind of display for him. And Trump just turns around and he starts looking the other way, just like he don't know where he's at. Where is he walking to? You know, Biden. I said Biden. I said Trump. Biden turned around. And he just took a step, and he's just standing there like, got his back to everybody. Doesn't know what he's hands out like, what do I do? Where do I go? And somebody had to walk across and turn him around. And then he stands there like in a daze, and he stands there in a daze like this, and then he picks his glasses up over top and goes
yeah.
like, something's wrong with that man.
Oh, definitely.
You know,
But you know, the thing of it is the real power is behind the president, especially in his condition, and they want to have total control.
well, I'm telling you what's going to happen.
They got a puppet for a president.
In 2 weeks, we're going to have that debate. Trump says he don't want to do the debate unless they drug test him prior. They want to see what drugs are in Biden's system. You know, they pump him with Adderall or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
And he wants to find out. Biden laughs about it, right? So the bottom line is this, is I think after it, by August, something's going to happen where they pull Biden off the ticket.
I don't know, because I don't like the alternative is that governor from California, he's a wackanoodle too.
Yeah, he's not going to be there.
Well, who else they got? They're not going to give it to Camilla.
No, they tell her you're not even going to be running anymore. But they might be going with somebody crazy like Michelle Obama, or anybody with a name. Hillary won't come back unless it comes back Hillary and Michelle. But don't be shocked. They're going to try to pull names out the hat with name recognition. People that people supposed to have liked, you know. I think it's too little, too late.
Oh, Dominic, he's back.
Dominic,
Hello.
good morning.
I'm back. I had to do something.
Yeah.
Well, did you do it?
I did.
There you go. Success.
Yeah, as long as you wipe good afterwards, it's all right.
Yeah.
Oh, Tiger played in the US Open today, is what East Coast is saying.
Okay.
I'm not into watching golf much.
Yeah.
I know
I gotta
that
be in the mood.
Mark likes to watch that.
You know, ironically, today is not only Trump's birthday, but it's Flag Day.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, my two cups are on their way back to me. So Monday or Tuesday, I ought to have two of those cups.
And they're just gonna direct deposit the money of the insurance into your account, right?
Said today. It said expected today. Wasn't in yet. I'm getting conflicting information on it.
Is your bank open or closed for Flag Day or no?
Well, it don't matter. It'll still happen. That stuff doesn't matter. It's all electronic. It's not in yet. It's in. I got it.
Oh, you did get it. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
$1,309.
Good for you.
Nice. Well, you know what the nice part is? That's the whole kit.
Yep.
Yeah, $1,309. I gotta check something now. I might have just sold something. I got an eBay notification.
Right back. I gotta put some clothes in the dryer.
Okay.
I'm getting a notification on another guy's Avada kit that he's got for sale out there.
Mm-hmm.
He's got about what I have with the Avada. I mean, this almost looks like my kit. That's how much man, God darn it. It's even got the same props. Let me make sure this ain't mine. No, it's got the same props of the original. It's got the goggles. I mean, it's the same case. It's everything the same. And he's got it out there. He's got 5 more days, and he's having them bid on it. It's got let's see. It's got 2 batteries. 2 batteries, the sticks, motion controller, goggles, and it says the smart combo is the goggles too. That's the difference. I got the Integra goggles. And right now it's got 20 bids. It's up to $510. But that's only with 5 days still left. So that's gonna go to $1,000 easy. Like that. Because I got just the drone now. I changed mine around this morning.
Mhm.
I took this
Hey,
drone
Steve.
right here.
Mhm.
Hey Steve. Yeah, hey Mark. I took this one here, took the
Hey,
battery
Joe.
off of it, and I'm selling
Steve.
just the drone with a few
I'm gonna-
accessories. 400. So I'm hoping somebody just needs a drone body and grab that.
Mhm. So is that the one with all the flights on it, or the one you just crashed?
That's the one I crashed yesterday, but it has it's still flying. It's perfect.
Mm.
Like I said, that one, the regular Avata is very durable.
Oh yeah, I've seen people hit things really hard with it.
Yeah, I smacked the wall. I clipped the wall and it did a 360 into a brick wall at about 20 miles an hour and bounced off and landed on the ground. And I could have done turtle mode and flipped it back up, but I was in sand, so I didn't want to do it.
Yeah, it's not worth trying to get sand in the motors.
Yeah, I didn't even have a scratch. I don't. It's clipped a couple of walls, like just barely, and I don't even have scratches on it. So, like I said, I'm I want to sell it. I'm not in a hurry to sell it. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Yeah.
it's always something that I can fly. Or if my son wants to fly something, I'll let him fly. You know, the one that does fly.
So which one of the Avatas are you keeping?
If I keep one, I'm gonna keep the orange one I got. Cause it's only got 10 flights on it. If I sell the other one, it'll be the red one.
Right.
And my Avata 2 should be in on Monday.
What, the
Yeah, I
full kit
almost-
or just
Say it
the
again?
Avata?
I bought the whole kit. The reason
You
I
bought the
did
whole-
that, well, I started thinking about it and I looked at it because they told me it's gonna be maybe even September before they sold
Yeah.
it by itself.
Yeah.
You know, and I said, well, you know what? I want to fly it. I don't want to wait. So I started doing some research this morning and yesterday, and the goggles and the motion controller, they sell for like 500 and 100. So it's like right around $600. So I've got them out there on eBay, the motion controller 3 and the goggles, because people could buy that and work that with their the 4, the Mini 4 and the Air 3. They'll fly those.
So you're selling your existing ones and keeping the new ones that come with the new drone.
Now I'm gonna sell the new ones.
All right.
I'm not gonna worry about the goggles. I'd rather sell them brand new. Let them go. Because the goggles are fine. The goggles are fine, and so is the motion controller. So I'll just sell that straight out, brand new out the box. And then that means I not only get another one of those bags, that I'll actually get a bag. I have a bag in the back I'll add to this thing. That's just a little smaller bag. You know, I'll tell them I need to put it in there that you'll get it the original bag that came with the Flymore kit of the Avata. So they'll have a DJI bag with it. Just sweeten it up a little bit, you know?
Mhm.
And because I got 3 of those bags in the back. And I'll take this new bag because it gives you a little bit more room. You could carry 3 batteries, Avata 2, everything in. And I just like that bag. But that'll give me now that extra, instead of me spending $700 for a drone, 1 battery, and the extra charging hub. If I sell
Mhm.
everything, I'll be paying like $600 for the drone, 3 batteries, and a charging hub.
Yeah.
So it made more sense. Just sell it because I got the money in already. It came in today. So now I bought it through B&H Camera. So I got 12 months same as cash. And it's not going to change my monthly payment on them. But I got 1 payment left on B&H. And once I pay that, next month I just pay the money, the difference. I pay the new one. So I'm still good. And if I sell these goggles, this is my goal. As soon as I sell
Randy?
these goggles and that, I'm putting it right back on the B&H to jump it off. I'm not going to keep it. East Coast, Randy? Yeah, I did.
Cool.
I did, Randy. It didn't hurt it. It's just, it was a drive of shame. Yeah. Randy told me to fly manual. I was congratulating him. Hey, Randy, I'll put the link to the short of the crash. But what happened is when I made the turn from Overwater, to get back on land because I was kind of far out and I didn't want to make sure I didn't lose connection. It loses connection, and I had nothing, and it flew into a tree. I'll put the link on. Made for a good short.
I decided I better take some pills because the 3.5 hours on the zero turn just killed me.
Well, you've been out cutting the grass today.
Yeah, I cut my grass and then I went out and I cut the baseball diamond and the field out there, the baseball field and the schoolyard. You know, just
How
in case kids want to play. 'Cause it
supposed to
was
do
this deep.
Hmm. Here's Jonathan.
I'm pretty sure the school are supposed to do that.
Yeah, they are. But the answer is no. I've been mowing it all spring.
All right.
Yeah, Randy, it's perfectly fine. It flies good. I just had to take about 6 inches of grass off of it.
Hey,
Oh,
Randy.
Jonathan,
Jonathan, what's up?
On his walk.
Jonathan's been there a while.
What are you trying to do?
were you out on a hike, Jonathan, or what?
I don't think you could hear us.
Can you hear us, Jonathan, or no? No.
No.
Now look. Okay, that's good news. I got 3 watches on the goggles and the motion controller 3. So that
Okay.
means they may go for it.
Yeah, but what you done with it? Have you put it as a buy it now, or
Now put it on the auction.
did you put a
Yeah, 'cause
starting on it?
Well, they're gonna look at it. They'll wait till the last minute trying to steal it for this price. Because what I'm doing is I've got it out there for $579.99, free shipping, right? And
Right.
if you buy it from DJI, it's gonna run you just about $20-$30 more.
Mhm.
But this way, if they can get it for $579, they're saving $30. But you might have
Yeah.
2 or 3 guys that jump in there real quick, and it might go for $610, $620.
Yeah.
You know, and they might and oh, by the way, it's on back order too. That's the other thing. I might get shocked here. It's on back order with DJI, so I'm gonna have brand new ones ready to go. I may get 700 for it.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. I'll know with the watches. If it starts going up to 5 or 6 watches, that means there'll be a bidding war. But I've stuck it out there. I stuck it out there for 5 days because I wasn't supposed to have it till Wednesday. But the tracking came in and said I'll have it Monday.
So when does your auction end?
Wednesday. So that gives it enough time for people to look at it. And then I've also got it, I don't have it on Marketplace. I'm thinking about sticking it on Marketplace. And if somebody here buys it, I won't have to worry about any fees or anything.
Hey, Jonathan, can you hear us?
Put on your if you do put
Yeah,
it on my
I can hear you now. Hey, props,
Hey.
man. I'm gonna tell you what Joe did now. Joe
Yeah.
crashed Divider 2, and in 24 hours he had 700 and something views. So he said, I'm gonna crash the other one too.
Yeah.
No,
I make
had
a
nothing to do
video.
with that one.
What's good, people?
Oh, I'm gonna be honest with you, Jonathan. When that thing went down, I said, damn, another video.
Mm-hmm.
So what got me mad when it happened was I said, damn, I just put that 128 card back up in there. I said, if I lost that card too, I'd be really mad. So I've got 3 cards coming in today that are 64s.
64s.
I got 3 64s that are going in my drones because I don't need any more than that. I'm gonna keep the 128s as extra. So what's gonna happen is if I'm flying something, I can switch them out. So in case like a second flight goes down, I'm not losing that first flight.
Well, that why they say always hit the screen record when you fly.
Well, I do. But that's when it came in yesterday, the 128.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna send that one back and just keep the so I got enough 128s to put in all the controllers and the goggles.
Okay.
That's the ones I want the 128s in. And I'll have enough 64s to put in the main drones.
Nice.
Because I'll probably keep a 128 in the Mavic 3 because I'm not worried about that drone. And the Air 2S, those two will probably keep it. So I'm only looking at the Avata, the Avata 2, the Avata, and Mini 3 Pro.
I
And I
think
made
I'm thinking about snatching up that classic, man, because you figure even if they do this ban, right, we might still be able to fly the ones that already had passed the FCC, but like the new ones that come out, we ain't gonna be able to get those. They come out with a Mavic 4, they come out with a Air 3S, we ain't gonna be able to get those.
those who come out before this thing's banned.
I don't know.
No, I don't know if you saw Pilot Institute this morning. They've got,
As a matter of fact,
3
I
different.
forgot to watch it. I forgot to watch it.
Yeah, go watch it near the end. The last story talks about the can't remember what they're called. It's 3 different drone groups. It's the police group, drone responders, a police group, and another one. But it's 6,000 organizations have pinned their opposition towards the bill and sent it to Congress. And another agricultural association did the same thing. So that right there is telling me that it's about to hit the fan because they're gonna fight. They're gonna fight not to lose their drones.
So you got big wigs stepping up now.
Yeah, now you got the big guys. Because I said to the guy yesterday, I told the guy contact me. He hasn't contacted me yet, but this guy was suit and tie, the whole works, pumping into a big Tahoe at the gas station with me. And he looked over at me and I had my shirt that said commercial pilot. And he says, "You're 107?" I said, "Yeah." And he says, "Yeah, me too." He says, "What do you think about the drone ban?" Like that, out of the blue. So I talked to him a couple of minutes about it and handed him my business card. The USA Drone Flyer. I said, "Call me." I said, "I'll tell you." I said, "You go to Drone Atmosphere Alliance and you can get that right there and send stuff quick. Or I thought you sending it yourself." He says, "Yeah." He said, "I hope it don't fly like that." That's how he put it, But that was
have them contact the same people everybody else been contacting.
Right. This is a business guy, and, so what does he do with it,
He's Tahoe.
But that's it. If they start getting, they said Stefanik's Twitter page, X page, the comments that she's getting, all it is negative comments about passing this bill. So they got to pull it out of the defense budget. The defense budget, yeah.
I'm just gonna wait it out. I'm gonna wait to see what happens because I got a plan B. So
yeah, like I said, I really think that if they do pass it, I really think that it's going to be somebody throw injunction court lawsuits on them real quick, and it's going to be all the big groups like the first responders and everything like that.
Yeah, they should have been making noise first of all.
You're right.
They were the first ones that really got attacked by it. So they should have been making noise from the beginning.
But they might have been being told what we were being told. Because like I said, I talked to Steve Scalise, House of Representatives. And he said to me, this thing will never pass. It may never pass by itself, but if you slip it in the back door, maybe,
Well, I mean, everybody's on alert for it to be slipped through the back door, so that shouldn't even be an excuse to be able to use.
I agree.
Yeah, well, we already on high alert. Like, listen, we already know this how y'all do certain bills. Y'all want to get it passed through without being seen. So when the next set of bills come through, they're supposed to have that one in it. Somebody need to be, how they say, fine tooth combing to see what's in there.
Stood by someone skilled.
Yeah.
See if there were any Choset genes mixed with our soldiers. They could have entered the lab together somehow. Yes, sir. Right away, Rick.
But yeah, well, this is gonna hurt them in a whole lot of ways. It's really gonna hurt. It's really gonna hurt U.S. pockets as well, as far as like insurance companies and businesses, because I know a lot of y'all just like me. Y'all got all y'all stuff insured. Okay,
Yeah.
so as soon as they talking about we can't fly, it ain't no question. It ain't no question that the trees aren't dicks anymore. Yeah, they gonna become our best friends.
Best friends.
They become our best friends. I mean, that's just the reality of it. The way I see it, because you gonna give me mine back. Okay, how we doing? You gonna give me mine back? You ban it.
Yeah, but if they ban it and then you say I crashed it flying it, then the insurance companies can say, well, you're doing something illegal with it, not paying out.
And then, nah, not the way I got mine insured. They gonna give me mine back, Jack. I promise you that. I can get all of mine back. That's why I'm not even sweating it.
By morning, everything will get more challenging.
So
Now,
American,
I might end up with a whole lot of batteries.
Yeah, I know the secret.
helicopter.
I'm gonna have a whole lot of batteries to send overseas to sell to somebody.
I know the secret, and the secret starts with a B.
Mm-hmm.
I'll listen.
Can you please be on the lookout?
Yeah, you're going to see an increase in sales in remote control helicopters, boats, cars.
I'm not buying nothing else. I promise you. If it's not we can't fly the DJI drones. Listen, something else gonna happen. The world is consistent with change. Life itself is consistent with change. All right.
Yeah.
So now they change that. Guess what? We gonna cry about it. We gonna complain about it, but we all gonna find something else to do.
Helicopters are fun. They're like single prop drones, and they come with GPS in them as well, so they're stable.
Yeah, but then you got to learn a whole new operating system and all that madness, man. I'm not going through all that. Nope. If they kill it, it's over with. I see them again in 5 years.
They pretty much fly the same as drones do as well.
We'll keep our promises well, okay?
As I said.
I'll wait them out.
When I started with helicopters, so I could always go back to them.
Yeah. If it's something you was already doing, then yeah, you already used to how those move and all of that in the different systems. When it comes to drones, the only drones I ever flown with DJI, so their operating system is muscle memory then.
Yeah, well, the helicopters I used to fly with the nitro gas powered ones, and they didn't have GPS.
So you got to deal with the gas. You got to put oil in them too and all that, right?
Harder to fly. Some of the stuff now, the little electric ones that have got GPS built into them, are a doddle. They just like flying a drone.
Oh, the best thing just happened. All I'm going to tell you is remember what I'm going to tell y'all right now. They had a second amendment appeal that went in that there's another thing going on, but bump stocks. If y'all remember in Las Vegas, the guy that shot everybody shot him with AR-15 with a bump stock on it. They came out and they immediately passed a law to make bump stocks illegal.
Bump stocks.
Texas bump stocks, the stocks that go on the back of the AR-15 that move. Okay,
okay.
it gives it more of a feel of a machine gun, and it makes it easier to shoot. So
Okay.
what they did is the Texas gun owner went
Oh,
in
stop.
under and sued the federal government, saying that you came into my house and told me I had something that was legal that is now illegal. Now remember what I said, how I said that, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Something that I've been doing that's legal, now you're telling me is illegal.
Illegal, right?
Supreme Court of the United States just struck it down. Now it's legal to own them again. Remember, we fly drones legally.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's just it. They're gonna shut us down from the controllers. We ain't gonna be able to get in the sky, period.
But remember what I said, we fly drones legally.
Yeah.
They can't just jump in and tell us we can't fly because it's illegal now. That right there
no,
is going to be part of
they're not
whatever the
stopping us
lawsuit
from
is.
flying
Yeah.
drones. They're not stopping us
It's
from flying drones. They're stopping us from flying DJI drones. You can still fly a
I-
drone.
But
Go get you a Skydio
still,
or
they
Autel.
can't. But
Well, I
if
don't
it's
know about
illegal,
no.
if a DJI drone is legal right now, and they turn around and say now it's illegal, that's going to be part of the lawsuit. The Supreme Court's already got precedents on things being told that this was legal, but now it's illegal. You know, so it's going to
Yeah.
make a difference. That is a
mean,
big legal argument right there.
those stocks are specific to an AR-15, so it's the same
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah, same thing. I mean, that is so specific. That's going to be a big legal argument right there.
Okay.
That's why you didn't see me. I turned my mic down and looked up there, had my mouth open on.
Here's the thing, though.
Like,
You're not gonna get in trouble for flying a DJI drone if they shut it down from the controller. You're not gonna be able to get it in the air. Just like if it's a TFR, it's something that they can do that makes your drone not even take off on the ground.
The only
Yeah,
way
I
they
don't-
can do that is to put a firmware update through DJI and have DJI turn every single controller and drone that they sold in America off.
Right. So now, what if your
Because
drone won't fly
they-
until you
they
do the
can't-
update?
Yeah, they can't just ban those
the
frequencies.
the controller is sending the
It's used by remote control planes and boats and all your wireless routers in your house and your mobile phones. So they can't just stop those frequencies because they're in use by too many things.
And you remember that that controller is what's sending the signal to your drone, and that controller
Right.
does not have to be hooked up to the internet. So if you don't do another update, it's going to fly. Unless they put an update out there to stop it, and you do the update, but it's not going to stop it because as long as you don't have to go on the internet to have anything going in and like backdoor you, you know,
Right.
your drone will fly. That's why I'm thinking that statement that the Supreme Court said it was 6-3. That's what it came out to the vote, 6-3.
It's
And
like the Mini. As soon
Yeah.
as you take off with the Mini 3, it turns wireless off. So
Right.
it's not attached to the internet then. So
Yeah, that's true.
it can't be transmitting data.
Yeah, the Mini 3 actually always been like that. Time you take off, it disconnects.
Yeah.
Time
It was
you stop driving, it disconnects from the
they
internet.
to sort out the range issues that were being had with it,
Mm-hmm.
which are mainly because they put the antennas in the wrong fucking place.
Yep.
Because they didn't click on it.
It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting.
Mm. I mean, I do feel sorry for you guys, and I hope that it all does go the right way in the end. But that is the trouble with having leaders that have got China phobia.
Man.
Yeah, we've been dealing with them all our lives. It's so crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, but just remember, if they push it here and they get it by for a little while, all these other countries better look up because they're gonna be they're gonna try to match it.
We
Say, well,
think
the
they're gonna
United
try to
States
ban
thinks,
it other countries too?
you never know.
I doubt it'll happen here.
They don't
Joe,
like China.
Yeah,
wasn't
the
Biden
U.S.
over
is
in
the
the
only one
Ukraine?
screaming this madness. I don't recall hearing anybody else crying about that.
Mm,
Not even discussed here.
Right.
Joe, wasn't Biden over in the Ukraine?
When
He's somewhere. I'm not sure where it was.
he's in Italy,
He's
Italy.
signing some treaty in the Ukraine or something.
but he's in Italy right now. That's the last thing I heard. But I don't know where he's at right now. I saw him yesterday in Italy, turn his back on the people that were showing him something and stand there like he didn't know where he was going or where it was.
He said he was in the Ukraine at about at 1:30 this afternoon
Yeah, he might be flying back this way.
to sign a
Ukraine?
supposed to be
Oh,
signing
wait,
a treaty.
that's
Robert.
right. He did. He did. He actually did. He went from Italy to Ukraine, and then he's coming back.
Who?
Biden.
Biden.
Oh, Biden actually flew into Ukraine?
Yeah.
Evening.
Oh, wow.
Signing some treaty this afternoon.
They're giving him another $18 billion or something like that.
Oh, you know they cleared that fucking airwave of Russian. I bet you F-22s and F-35s are all over that fucking airspace. Like, fuck around, dude. Air Force One's coming in.
Yeah, Randy, you're right. He was standing there and he turned around and he was looking around. He had his hands out like, "What? Somebody help me! Help the boy! Help the boy!"
So Russia's standing down in Ukraine? What's going on with that? Are they backing out or what?
No,
God, no.
they're still fighting.
Well, what's the treaty for then?
No, it wasn't a treaty. Actually, there was a treaty that the UN passed that's what it might have something to do with. They're trying to was it Ukraine? No, I'm two different wars.
Was it
all of
Syria?
Ukraine. Yeah, I'm thinking of Palestine and all that.
Okay.
Dan.
UN passed a treaty in Gaza trying to cease fire, but nobody listened to it, which that's good. And
Well, of
the
course
other
it did.
part
UN's
was
useless.
yeah, and then the other part was he's in Ukraine because he just promised them another $39 billion or something like this. Like we need to give them more money, you know?
Well, all you have to do, ask Alexa, where is Joe Biden currently? And it'll tell you what he's doing in Ukraine.
See,
Because
all you gotta.
He'll say he doesn't have a clue where he's at.
Okay, so
It's
to just like
exactly what he
prevent.
was doing. Or what he was supposed
There's two things you can do to prevent conflict. Well, one thing you can do to prevent conflict, you just put US troops in Ukraine all the way back to the lines and say, all right, that's where you stop. You cross this line, you're fucked.
Yeah,
I guarantee you Russia would stop in their tracks right then.
yeah.
I guarantee you they would. Because they're not going to want to push it, just like they did in
FAFO.
Syria. You know, when we were in Syria and we had Syria split in half, you remember what happened when the Russian troops tried to come across the line and take that oil field, that Conoco oil field?
Yep.
They completely fucked those troops up in a matter of minutes. There was like, what, 400 or 500 Russian and US or Russian and Syrian fighters came across the deconfliction line and they tried to take an oil field where a bunch of American Special Operation Forces are at.
Mhm.
And they called up Russia. They said, are these your forces? Russia said, we don't know what you're talking about.
Uh-oh.
Then whoever this is about to get their asses fucked. And not even that, 10 minutes later, dude, they just started pounding them or like fucking
Justin,
pounding them.
put your tinfoil hat on, man. You break.
Uh,
As you were saying that, it went into break it up mode.
No, but what I was saying was, as soon they called Russia up and asked Russia, "Are these your troops?" Russia didn't answer. They said, no, we don't have any troops in the area. And the minute they said that, the US hung the phone up. And next thing you know, there was Apaches, all kinds of planes in the air. And they just decimated these troops, literally killed over half of them within the first 10 minutes of the fight.
Except the only problem with that theory is, Justin, you have to have a good man in president, and we got this bumblehead.
Yep.
Biden is not strong.
It's definitely Russian collusion because of my microphone breaking up, Dan said.
Yeah,
Russians.
And,
that's that China, Mike. They're gonna ban them.
everything made in China is going to stop working in America from next week.
Yeah, right.
That would be crazy.
The place
That
will come
would be crazy.
and
But did you hear what I said earlier, Justin? The Supreme Court of the United States banned, they rescinded the bump stock law that was passed.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me. The ATF and them stepped away over
Yeah.
the line with that.
Yeah, and the guy that sued the federal government, was a Texas gun owner that owned a gun shop. And he said, this is where I'm going. Said, you came into my house and told me that something that I had been using legally is now illegal.
Look for partly sunny weather. With a
Doesn't
high
that sound like DJI drones?
and a low of 55
Nope.
degrees.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't say in the Constitution you have the right to bear a DJI drone.
No, it says that I'm using that drone legally. He said using it, doesn't say anything else about it, it said using it. And that's what they agreed, that if it is legal, you just cannot turn around and say something is illegal on a
No,
whim,
that's
basically.
not going to work.
I want to read that
Telling you.
dissension. It's gonna
It's
work,
not going
I'm
to work
telling you.
the same way.
That's gonna be the
The
number
Supreme
one.
Court didn't want
argument.
that law to go. The reason why the Supreme Court overturned that and they didn't want to mess with it or get their hands all dirty in that was because it had to do with the Constitution and your right to bear
Oh, that
arms.
does. That does, but it's gonna be
And
the
they don't
same
want to
thing.
put. They don't want to put their hands all over that. And there's more constitutional judges on the Supreme Court right now than there is the
No,
dumbass ones.
I disagree with that because a bump stock is not necessary for bearing arms. You can still carry the rifle, you just can't use that particular bump stock on it.
No, because every American family should have the right to have a Abrams tank in their front yard. That's just
I
my
agree.
opinion. Okay?
I can buy one.
I
Yeah,
think
if
we
you're
all
gonna-
should have.
You can.
No, I think the government should provide a free javelin system for every household.
I agree.
And then, trust me, China ain't gonna want to come over here. Oh, dude, could you imagine if a foreign country tried to invade the US? Oh my God, dude, the amount of resistance it.
Well, they already
How about
are
one
invading
pissed
the
off?
US.
Talking
Yeah,
about one
over the
pissed off
border.
They're coming across the border. I don't know how
We
many.
got 10 million
I'm
invading
talking
us
about
right
an
now.
actual military invasion.
Well, yeah, but
Watch.
they're-
They trying to come over to live. They ain't trying to come over to fight.
well, it depends upon how you look at it, Jonathan. They're military age young men, single, coming to this
Yep.
country, and under
They might not
Biden, he
want-
says, "Okay, here, have a gift card."
Have a gift card here. Have your Apple
Yeah.
gift card.
Well,
And, and a lot of
them a
them,
Visa. They give them a Visa gift card.
It's like,
There's
here, have an
been- there's been-
iTunes card.
there's
How
been a
do you-
few of them already arrested for planning
Oh,
stuff.
How do you know how many of those people coming across the border are not Mexican black ops getting ready to invade?
Because Mexico
What?
doesn't have black ops.
I'm about to say, Mexico.
They don't even have an.
Mexico
They
got
don't
a
even
black
have.
eye.
They don't even have an Air Force.
You don't even know they've got black ops.
They don't even have an Air
Yeah,
Force. I don't think Mexico even owns any jets or anything.
Well,
if
the
I'm not
deal is
mistaken.
if Mexico ever declared war on us, all we got to wait is about 2 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon when they all go to sleep for a little while and then take them out.
You know why Mexico
during
doesn't
siesta
invest a
time.
lot? The reason why Mexico doesn't really invest a lot in their military, because they really don't. What do they need to? They border the US.
Yep.
Fucking nobody's
Well,
gonna come
they-
over and fuck with them because then they're right on the, you think the US is gonna let some war go on right on their border? Like a war with another country? With Mexico?
like
No, hell no. They know
Cuba.
that.
Well,
Dude, Mexico doesn't even need a military. Mexico could dissolve their entire military and they'd be good. Because they're basing their protection off the US being right on their border.
What's
Because they
that
know
called?
nobody's gonna come over there and start fucking around.
Just over there. Not Bogota. It's not
To be
Botswana.
honest, Canada doesn't even really need a military. If they didn't want to. I mean, the US already pretty much dominates their airspace for them. I mean, the whole NORAD and everything, they pretty much monitor all their airspace and everything for them.
Yeah. They got one though.
Oh yeah, I mean, they got a decent little military. I don't know much
Shit,
about
they-
it, but I know it's a
They,
decent little
they
military.
got some hitters. Canada got some hitters. They train them dudes something real sick like.
Well, see, Randy, that's why they need to label the cartels as terrorists, and then we can start doing drone strikes in Mexico. Then Mexico really would be like, okay, fuck this, we gotta do something about this.
Well, that's it. Canadian forces are trained by the UK forces.
Well, you remember a few years back when the Canadian forces, Justin Trudeau was trying to get them to train with the Chinese, and all the top commanders in the Canadian military were like, no, get the fuck out of here, we're not doing that.
Mm.
And Putin's
I'm
talking
not
about
saying-
nuclear weapons again.
Cool, okay, I'm not saying their military isn't important. I'm just saying they don't really need one. Canada could literally just sit back and just live off the backs of the US military being right on our border. They don't really need one. Because if anybody ever attacked Canada, whether they had a military or not, the US isn't just going to stand and sit there. They would
Right.
immediately get involved. That's way too close to home. You know the US ain't going to let that happen.
Not only that, they wouldn't want them to be up in that landmass right there.
So that's what I'm saying is like Mexico and so somebody might be able to get away with attacking maybe South America somewhere down at the tip or something, you know? And the US might get a little spooked, but you get near Mexico or Cuba or
I mean, like Argentina.
well, I'm saying you get near Mexico or Canada though, you're gonna have a serious fucking problem. Because the US that is way too close to the US. They are not gonna want some country getting into it.
Let me think. Who was it that kind of invaded Argentina a while back? Oh yeah, fucking like it was us.
Sure.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, they do that to a certain extent, Dan, but they still do have a decent sized military.
Her hips don't lie, I tell you.
I mean, there's a lot of countries around the world that rely on the US military as a backbone to theirs. A lot
Yeah.
of countries do. That's why they allow them to come in and set up bases because they know that most countries aren't going to want to fuck around with them if there's US bases there. That's kind of a big deterrent for most other countries. The only one that's had the balls to actually shoot at a US base is Iran, and trust me, they would have only done that once if they let the military just unleash a fury on their ass for it. But the problem, they can only do what they're told, so if they don't get to retaliate, that's because the politicians are like, no. But if you let the US military say, under your own devices, if somebody attacks, you just completely decimate them. Oh yeah, that Iran would have done that one time and they'd have been done doing that.
So Donald, what did you do? Get a haircut? Take a bath or what?
Oh,
Got your hair combed different.
Hey, Donald,
Yeah.
today's a big day for you, Donald. What is it?
Oh, shut up, man.
No, is it an anniversary or what's going on?
Yes,
Yeah.
today is my wife and I are celebrating our 27th animosity.
27th year.
There you go. Congratulations.
Well done.
That's why you got your hair combed. That's what it is.
Donald, I could never get past the number 7. I
Yeah,
tried it.
I was out.
I tried it 3 times and boom, boom, boom. You know.
So
I went out in the
which
yard,
fast,
got sweaty, and then I came in, took a shower because I figured we're gonna go out and eat or something. So
which fast food?
You said
place
you're going to eat out?
Here we go again.
Get out of
No,
life.
did you hear, you remember what he said this
Look at
morning?
that smile on his face.
You remember all that big man talk this morning, talking about my wife's got to go out and mow the lawn before we leave, but yeah, he just said he was out doing yard work. We all know who cracked the whip when he went in there and talking about you need to mow the lawn.
Well, no, he was out there checking up to get. He was checking her work.
Yeah, okay.
no, she hasn't help yet. She's gonna have to get home and get busy if she wants food tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's gonna make her cook it.
Yeah, my yard work was just moving a couple of my potted plants around.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Let's take a walk outside real quick.
Just to get out of the way of the mower. So
Yeah.
still haven't decided where we're gonna go eat yet.
I'm telling you got to try that trick on her just to say.
Chick-fil-A. Go for an
But-
Indian.
Oh, but you know, the bad thing about that trick now, I'm thinking about it, Donald, is that kind of shows you weren't planning. You know, she might have
Yeah.
expected you to have something planned, you know?
Jim Beauchart sent a picture of these whistle dogs, homemade whistle dogs that he made.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to send that to Tim. Remember the picture?
Yeah,
Gross.
but yeah, hot dogs sliced open with cheese and bacon.
Oh, what you need to do
So
is
we're
take
gonna
that.
go out to eat. All I do right now is I'm craving one of these damn whistle dogs.
Donald, you need to take that picture and like really morph it into something nasty. Have some actual semen coming out of the dog or something and send it to Tim.
Here we go.
No, we just
Make it
Wherever that-
absolutely disgusting looking.
what was that picture that I would send him? It was a picture of a hot dog, right?
Yeah, with the cheese coming out the tip, I think it was.
I don't remember why.
Was it bacon wrapped? I think.
I don't
It's
remember.
been a while since you showed it to him.
Yeah, cool
I've got
cat.
a
It,
picture of it.
it does look good. He sent me a picture of it on the grill, and then he sent me a picture on the plate, and it's like they're whistle dogs. A&W used to make them.
You flooded yet, Justin? No, why would I be flooded?
Yeah, I am craving one
Rain
now.
in South Florida.
I'm not in the flood area.
No.
Yeah, Southern Florida, Miami, dude, they got fucking water pumps all over that city just to keep water out because they're constantly flooding down there.
Hmm.
Donald, you need to take her for an Indian, somewhere that you've never actually been before or tried.
You know, they've been doing that down there in Miami. They've been like raising certain parts of the like roads and different things, trying to get the height up.
I would,
Like,
in New Orleans, they got pumping stations in different areas of the city, and they're as big as homes. That's how big they are.
Brazers. Brazers is awesome, man.
Yep.
In the redneck part of Florida. Oh, I got you, Randy.
Oh, and I also shaved.
We don't want to see that.
Awesome.
Oh,
There's my wife. I got to put you guys on.
Okay.
yes, dear, I did mow the lawn.
Yeah.
And I have somewhere picked out. And you just come home and you take your time getting ready and we'll leave as soon as, whenever you feel like it. Yeah,
Well,
he's
that
full of
goes
shit.
without saying.
Yeah, right.
That
That'll
goes
that'll
without
happen.
saying.
See, if I was him, I would pretend to hang up, like I would hang up the phone pretend I'm still talking and I mute myself, be like, and that's right, you're gonna get that law done.
Yeah, bitch, you come in here with your legs wide open.
Look, she probably was listening to the stream and he's on there. I was just joking, dear. It was all a joke. It wasn't serious. I'm a good boy, I promise.
What's this? You're not coming home now? You what? Who all gotta go?
I'll have my stuff packed and ready to leave the house as soon as you get home.
Hey, Frank.
Hey, Frank.
Actually,
Where's
Dan,
Frank? Frank left. Jody's
to
back.
be hon-
Yeah, Jody's back.
to be honest, Dan,
I'm just gonna say
Dawn's-
Jody was on earlier.
Dawn's hair actually has like this natural like comb over. Like if he sits there and like puts his fingers through his hair, a lot of times it will fall like that. He always gives everybody his age shit about how luscious his hair is.
Yeah, I know.
If I want to run my fingers through my hair, I've got to find where it's gone first.
Yeah, Dan and Mark have been, or Mark and Dominic have been the victims of Donald's cruelty of him rubbing his
Yeah.
fingers through his hair, bragging.
Yeah,
Used to be old beach, now it's all waves.
yeah, it's
And
weird.
that's all I got to say about that woman.
I knew he was
He was listening.
I'll just click that.
I saw you hang the phone up. Don't try to play us. I said that too right before you did that. I said, watch, he's going to unmute and pretend he's talking to his wife on the phone. Like
Well,
he
of
said on
course.
the.
It's of course I'm going to do that. We are going to go have a hibachi.
No.
Ooh, nice.
Oh,
That's
that's-
good. Is it the one where you
Or
go
I
and
might
have
do-
them?
There's two places here in town. And you can get the table show at either one.
Yeah,
But,
I love that one.
I get tired of the same old jokes and stuff. Just give me my friggin' food. So
Yeah,
we're gonna go to
exactly.
the other one where you can order the hibachi meal, but you don't have to put up with the show. You just get your dinner and you can eat.
You know, we went to
Oh.
one time and it was
I
really
get ya.
cool because you had a little grill at your table. And so you would tell the waitress what you wanted and she would bring you your snack, like your food, and then you'd cook it on your own little grill right there in the middle of the table.
Mhm.
Really cool.
Do that in your own fucking kitchen. Why pay stupid prices to go and do it in a restaurant?
Good point.
This is
Because you
coming from
can.
somebody that orders out every time he's on a live stream with us.
No, I don't.
That's I could go back on Paul's live streams when you were getting food, and I guarantee 9 out of 10 times you ordered out.
No, I only actually order maybe a couple of times a week.
So you can go.
It's just that when I
Have
order
you ever-
out, I usually order enough to last for 2 days.
Do what, dog?
Yes, are you talking about like a hot pot, or did they had a grill, or is it like a
No,
hot
it
pot?
was like a griddle that was built in the middle of the table.
It was a circle, wasn't it?
Like a big hot plate. And then you would get your whatever, like you would order whatever you wanted, and then they would bring it to you, and then you'd put it on there and cook it.
Well, they had an
That was
attendant.
years ago. I went to that. No, you did it yourself. There wasn't nobody at your table. She would just bring you the food.
Oh, because I went to one once where there was a guy dressed in a chef's outfit, and he would actually put it on there for you.
Yeah, that's what Donald's talking about. But that's like a
Yeah,
huge.
that's a hibachi.
Yeah, but that's where like 10 people all sit around one, and not everybody knows each other. Usually, it's like a community table, and then the guy sits in the
Yeah.
middle, and yeah.
I don't want to watch my food being cooked. I just want to eat it.
Mm.
Well, and that's the thing. It's once you've sat down at the hibachi and seen the show, it's always the same dang jokes, the same process of cooking. It's like, let's give me the food and I can sit and have a conversation with somebody instead of watching somebody flick shrimp tails into their hat.
Yeah.
Mm.
you know.
Yeah, that kind of restaurant didn't last long in Port Huron. I think it was closed within a year.
Hibachi girls, they tend to do pretty well, but they're a little expensive.
It's
We went
basically
to
just another Chinese restaurant.
Do you have any good Japanese restaurants that have a sushi bar on them as well, Donald?
You traitor.
Wait, what?
Do you have any good Japanese restaurants that will have a sushi bar as well?
Both places that we're going to. So I may just order a couple of sushi rolls and get a side of veggies.
Yeah, the place that we used to go to, that we went to quite a few times, it had a really nice sushi bar. You could go in there and the guy'd be making fresh sushi, or you could get something that was already made.
So is it
And then,
Japanese, not Chinese then?
Yes.
yeah.
That's all right.
And there is, they have a pretty decent sashimi
Fucking
sampler
Randy
as
with
well.
the parachute. Don't ruin Donald's night, okay, Randy, with that nasty comment.
Never had that.
All right. I wouldn't have read it unless you brought attention to it, Justin.
Well, that fucking is such a gross ass video.
What about the sushi trains? Have you ever seen those?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, that go around the counter.
But now I'm not sure if I can have sushi. I can still have California roll. That's correct.
Yeah.
I'd still rather go for an Indian.
Yeah, I haven't had Indian in ages.
What when you eat Indian, do you eat it with a tomahawk or what?
Now you're
Yep,
not
I'm
allowed
probably
to call those Indians, Paul.
What?
either
Indian,
You're-
India.
You're not allowed to call them Indians
Subcontinental.
anymore.
Well, here's my question for you, Mark. You seem to be knowledgeable on India and Indians. The American Indian have they don't have anything to do with India's Indians.
Yeah, I
No,
know.
they don't.
yeah.
They're
They
not
don't.
genetic. They're not part of.
Yeah, everybody knows that. It was a mistake.
They were called the Red Indians as opposed to the Brown Indians.
Can't use
now
that term
you're
these days.
getting into the gray area there now.
Here you go, Dominic.
Yeah.
Well, I got just a minute, Joe.
Oh, no.
Just a minute.
I don't even know why you called them Indians.
There we go.
Because he was
That's a good
looking
point.
for a place to get to India. And when they first landed on the shores, they thought they may have been in India.
All right. So they called them Indians and it was an error.
And it stuck.
Yep, it stuck.
Fine.
Yeah, it was all about the spices.
So it was the
Hey, JD.
And JD, yeah, they're called Native
Oh,
Americans. Indigenous
Native American.
But a lot
Native
of
Americans.
Native Americans also prefer.
Yeah.
They also don't mind the term Indian.
remember that word, Native Americans.
I'm
Mhm.
native. I was born here.
I'm Native too. I was born here.
Yeah, don't get me started on that. Especially down here.
We could also, if you preferred, we could call them Conquered Americans.
Conquered Americans.
And then you got Tim Jackson.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to have Native American blood in me. My grandmother is supposed to be half. So that'd make me what, an eighth? But
Well, Tim Jackson has been living in Australia longer than he used to live in the U.S., right?
Well, it was like that
Until
whole.
Iran.
No, not yet. He has about another 6 years or so.
Yeah.
And then he'll technically be in Australia longer than the US. And then that's when we can officially disown him as an American.
Yeah.
So you're leading that charge?
You won't go out. You're a goddamn nuisance dog.
Told you, Mark, you can't get mad at her. You spoiled her.
Hey. Hey. I've got my own issues.
I've got to walk all the
Oh,
five.
Vegemite's there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's all right.
Not when she's
Vegemite-
biting my fingers.
Vegemite is a almost a like the Big Ben, you know. It's like where would your show be without Vegemite, you know? Now the question I have, Dominic, have you ever given real Vegemite to Vegemite?
No, it's too salty to give to her.
Okay, not even a little taste or anything.
Yeah, it's
Nah.
probably not good for animals. It's not even really known if it's good for humans. It's still up for debate.
There we go. There we go.
all that excess sodium. Yeah.
You don't have too much of it. Hey. Hey. Out of there. Oi.
Like it's kind of like Vegemite's kind of like asbestos, right? It's good for like patching tires and roofing and they just haven't found out yet that it's actually bad for you.
And
We
barbecue.
think after 100 years, we'd know.
Well, that's the thing too. Yeah, like Donald said, yeah. You know, most of the US was actually already kind of claimed by other countries, like Spain had part of the US, Mexico had part of it.
California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friend.
Portugal.
California
But they
and Florida.
Yeah, Mexico, like I said, Mexico, Spain, France, they all kind of had pieces of it that they were claiming
Yeah.
already before we came in and took it, whether we purchased it or not.
When you say we are them. We are they. When the Louisiana Purchase went through, all the French people didn't get up and move; they stayed.
No,
We
we
are
sent them. No, we sent them to Canada.
Yeah.
Sent them to New Orleans.
No, but technically, wouldn't we be considered Native Americans? We were born here, right?
Well,
I mean,
see
my
that-
family's like, I think
Mhm.
my family's like, if I remember my grandma saying correctly, like my family didn't come over here somewhere in the 1700s or something. So like my family's been here for a long time.
the Supreme Court just overruled the ban on bump stocks.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
we mentioned that about an hour ago.
An hour
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah, you told us
Yeah.
about that already.
But you know what? I'm not really familiar with bump stocks, but they showed video on the
Oh.
news that it acts like a damn machine gun, for Christ's sake.
No. A bump stock.
It's not.
You can do the exact same thing a bump stock does. If a person has the skill, they can do the exact same thing without modifying the weapon. The bump stock just makes it easier to do that type of firing. And a machine gun is not defined by the rate of fire. And that is the problem. If Congress wanted to define a machine gun by rate of fire, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
And that's
They
the same
define
thing.
it as one trigger pull, multiple shots. And if they want to ban something based on the rate of fire, they need to go back to Congress and have the law made that way instead of just redefining what a machine gun is.
Well, it's
That's the entire problem.
it's like
They-
the whole AR argument. Everybody thinks AR stands for assault rifle, and it doesn't. It stands for the company that makes the gun.
Right.
Isn't
Yeah.
the bump stock just a recoil absorber?
Yeah,
More or less.
sort of.
And,
It-
there-
it-
More like that.
and there's plenty of hunting rifles out there that will do more damage than an AR will, like 30-06s and
And it
30-30s.
doesn't actually absorb. It does absorb, but it springs back with that impact. So as it springs back, you're holding your trigger finger in a locked position, and it keeps pushing the gun against the trigger finger. So
Rather-
recoil pushes forward, recoil pushes forward, and so you're getting a single bullet per trigger pull. But
Yeah.
it's just happening very rapidly and automatically.
Right,
And-
it almost seems like automatic, but it's not.
Yeah.
Or it
Right.
seems like it's shooting at a rapid fire as if it's modified,
It
but
is
it's
shooting-
actually not
Yeah,
modified.
it is shooting in a rapid fire, but that is the problem with.
But like
the
you said,
definition.
the weapon's not actually modified. It just gives you that ability to do that.
And it doesn't give you the ability to do it. It makes it makes it easier to accomplish. The ability is already inherent in every single one of those weapons.
Yeah.
You can do the same thing with your belt loop. You can adjust your belt loop to put tension on the butt, and it can do the exact same thing because it will bring back and come forward from the tension.
And if I'm not mistaken, Joe would know this because he's the only one on the panel that's been in the military, in the U.S. military. But if I'm not mistaken, the standard rifle for the infantry, they only allow 3 rounds at a time because they don't want you wasting bullets, right? Didn't they redo the M16 back in Vietnam?
No,
They went from fully
Yeah.
automatic to a three bullets.
You're
No.
talking burst.
Yeah, it was
they
a
have a
3
burst
round
mode and
burst.
they have a full automatic mode too.
Because I remember
that
watching a
was
thing back
the-
in Vietnam. They said that
That
they
was in the
changed.
Horde.
Well, back
In
in
the Horde,
Vietnam,
what's it? The gangs started to use triple taps.
well, what I'm saying is the government, if I'm not mistaken, back in Vietnam, they went to a 3 round burst on the guns because they wanted the guys to be more efficient with the rounds they were putting down range instead of just spraying like they
No,
were.
I wouldn't say that you
Hold on,
have
I'm
the
almost-
ability to. It gives you the ability to fire more precise bursts, but you don't want to restrict. You want to give your soldiers choice. If they need to throw as much lead downrange as possible, you want to give them full auto.
Mhm.
There's no way the military said, you know what, you guys are wasting ammo. Let's restrict you guys a bit. Speaking of belt, where did I leave my belt? But yeah, whether you agree with bump stocks or not, the legislation today was not about the bump stock itself. It was about the way the regulation was put into place.
Okay, so I was right.
was- Something that is illegal, and saying, right, you can't have that anymore.
Okay, so I was right. Back in around the Vietnam era, they actually came out with a different iteration of the M16 where it was only a 3 round burst setting in place of a full auto mode to force ammo conservation.
Really?
I remember, and I want to say it was
Why
I
would
wanna
you
say-
restrict your own people?
because they were. Yeah, and say Dre's saying the 3 round burst is better for accuracy and not to damage the barrel from heat.
Mm.
But they I don't
Right.
know if the newer, what is it, the M4s they use now, I think is their main weapon. I don't know if that one is, but the M16, it says that, yeah, later iterations of it only had a 3 round burst setting in place of a full auto mode because they said back in Vietnam, there was too many soldiers that were just unnecessarily spraying rounds. And so they wanted you to force you to kind of be more accurate with your rounds.
But
Mm.
if you're trying to hit someone who's running away from you, it's a damn sight easier on fully automatic than trying to hit him with just 3 rounds.
Well, and like Dre said, that does make sense about the heat dispersion though, because
Yeah.
guns can get way overheated to the point to where they're unusable because of the.
Here comes Dre now.
That's why they
Yeah.
have heat filters.
I was
on
almost positive I saw
Good idea.
something about that back in the day. And like I said, I wanted to look it up because I wasn't sure. And I was pretty sure it had to do with the M16. Like I said, I don't know about the newer weapons because I think what the M4 is their standard weapon now. I think. What's up, Jerry?
Not much. I'm just surprised Donald spilled that nonsense he was trying to utter.
There we go.
Why we got it?
I mean, it's quite obvious there's only one or two people here that ever fired a weapon, in automatic mode and semi-automatic mode.
Yeah, you got a point.
And I can tell you from firsthand experience, not just shooting a M15, but shooting an M49 SAW, shooting an M60 on full auto, and you can literally see the barrel, see the rounds go through the barrel because it gets so hot from the so many rounds going through. You can see them going right through.
I wasn't spouting nonsense. In fact, I was incredulous. That was the reason. I'm like, no way,
Yes,
no, I couldn't believe that. So I wasn't spouting nonsense. I was incredulous that was happening.
Now he wants to use $5 words for 2-cent meaning. Incredulous.
No,
Okay, incredulous.
I fully admit I don't know that much about weapons, and I could not believe that was a real thing that you would want to restrict people from being able to.
No, it's not. It's not to actually say restrict. It's to be more efficient and effective with the weapon. You can throw 1 million rounds down range, but they don't hit the target. What have you done? Nothing. So, like I say, in the military,
you make people downrange shit their pants. That's what you done.
No, like I say,
Not necessarily.
the object of firing, that's what we go to the range for, is to be accurate with the weapon, not just throw bullets down there. You know, we get higher marks for hitting the bullseye, not just throwing them down range.
You get plenty of medals too.
Yeah, I spouted no hard opinions on weapons and their use because I don't know about that. But I do. The only thing I have actually spouted out a known thing today is about the law and what that decision was today. Because I did read up on it. I do know that.
But like I say, if you fired a weapon on fully automatic, the tendency of the weapon, because of the rapid recoil effect of that weapon, is that the barrel of the weapon starts to rise up and goes higher and higher. So what happens is you have no full control. And that's why even in the movies, you see Sylvester Stallone have their hand down, holding the barrel down when they're shooting a lot of rounds through an M60 machine gun, tucked on his armpit, which is like a big joke. But that's to keep the barrel down from rising up because of the amount of recoil.
Dre, if that barrel gets hot, you sure wouldn't want to have your hand on top of it.
Well, that's why I say you have the guards, the heat guards on all the weapons. But like I say, if it gets so hot, it's gonna melt everything. I've seen M60 barrels get damaged because of too many rounds going through them, and that's why I say even with the M60 machine gun, they taught us you just don't hold the trigger and let it go. You can have a whole ammo can. Go ahead, Don.
Not that it makes a lot of sense.
No, like I said, you can have a whole ammo can sitting next to that gun, which is about usually, Joe knows he's armed for about 500 rounds to a can.
500 rounds.
500 rounds to a can, and that thing will go through it less than 3 minutes.
Yep.
500 rounds. And then you will not have a gun that will work again because the barrel will be damaged. It will be worthless. And like I said, when the M49 SAW came out, same thing. You had a 200 round mag that went on that sucker right there. Yep. Same thing. They teach you to fire and burst. Just about all the weapons. They teach you to fire and burst is for better accuracy, but also to preserve the weapon itself. Because you can damage a weapon and just nonstop firing.
Yeah, you sure wouldn't want to be in a firefight and you can't fire your gun.
That's right.
You only fire for 200 rounds.
Yeah. That's it.
Better take everybody out in 200 rounds.
Like I said, I was almost positive.
Go ahead, Justin.
Now the big thing, Don, is now the one weapon that could probably handle nonstop fire, but even then you don't want to fire rapidly, is the 50 cal.
Oh yeah.
So the 50 cal, when it's mounted on a vehicle or a tripod, when I've shot one, it shoots so smooth, dude. It's one of the smoothest weapons because it's mounted on something and there is no recoil to make it. So I got an old picture somewhere around here of me sitting out in the desert firing one. And it's got the butterfly fingers on the back. Your thumbs are just hitting it. Doof, 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 doof,
Well,
doof.
I have to go eat dinner with my wife now, but thank you for the education.
Okay,
no,
Joe.
Which it,
Hey,
well,
Joe,
know what?
if you
Enjoy
have-
it, John. Enjoy.
And once you mentioned it, it makes a lot of sense because usually I try and keep my facts down to about 3 at a time because I was spitting them out at such a rapid fire that I set this place on fire.
Well,
It's
Don,
It's a wonder your tongue doesn't melt.
hey,
Yeah.
Don, I just hope
Oh, he
your
left.
your etiquette's up to speed. You won't use the wrong fork in front of the wife.
Like I said, I was almost positive. I remember watching something about that. And they were talking about that. It was a problem issue they had back in Vietnam with the M16s.
Yeah,
He's
well,
not- Use the wrong fork. He's got to use chopsticks.
Oh, okay, that's right. He's going to an Asian restaurant. Well, like I
Yeah.
said, the M16 original version had a lot of issues. It wasn't designed to operate well in the Vietnam environment. It needs to be constantly cleaned immaculately. So it was not designed to work in a high humid jungle environment. Once again, the automatic fire selector was another issue where, guys were just pulling the trigger and letting it fly. And in the old magazines, even I still have some 30-round clips. So like I say, you can go through a 30-round clip less than about 15, 20 seconds at the most, and you're switching that thing out. Each guy carries about, let me see, each pouch carries three mags. You got at least 2 pouches. So you multiply 30 times 6. You can feed that thing through 30 times 6, and you can hold off 100. Thank you, Joe. 180 right there. So you can throw a lot of rounds down range, but how accurate are you throwing those rounds? And then you got what kind of weapon you're gonna have afterwards.
I would have thought that on a range you would be much better off just single shooting anyway.
Well, when you're on the range, it is almost like that, but I don't know what it is anymore now. I know when Joe and I came through, you started at the 200-yard
200.
line. You started 200. You got, what was it, 10 rounds offhand, 10 rounds in the sitting, and you got 10 rounds kneeling and stuff. And then you went back to the 300-yard line, and that's when you had your first taste of rapid fire, but you fired from the prone position, which is supposed to be the most stable position. You shot from there, and then you finished off with another 10 rounds in the sitting position, and then you went back to the 500-yard line, and you shot 10 rounds at pretty much your own pace from back there. I think they gives a time limit like 20 minutes to shoot 10 rounds from the 500-yard line from back there. And we call it the money line, because you can sit there and make sure everything was perfect, because you didn't
Knock
want to lose.
spotters out.
Yep, like I said, you didn't want to lose no points at the 500.
Yep, you hit that first one in black, and then you
Yep.
make sure you don't move that arm. Take that
Yep.
arm that's sitting out in front stays right there. Put
Yep.
that round in there. You just drop right back into that position. Take your breath, boom, and you watch the
Is it-
spotter jump out.
Yep. If anything, you just tighten that sling up a little bit. Say, just sit right there.
I used to put that arm down, tighten
Yep.
that sling,
Yep.
aim in that first shot, take that shot, look at it, see where they came up and spotted, and say, we're good. And then roll back, put that second
Yep.
round in.
You
roll
wouldn't
right
even
back.
and Joe said it right. You wouldn't even try to. Only move you do, you would roll. That way you could roll
you
right
sit
back
there like
in
this.
position. You would roll
You go
over,
right back.
throw another round in the chamber, and roll right back. And after the 500, you can actually see your rounds traveling down range. It'll
Yeah.
rise. It get to the 300-yard line, and it will rise up to go over the benches and come back down and go past the 200 and hit that target. You actually can see the heat trail of the round.
I used to stand behind people as they shoot and say, you're 2 inches low.
Mm-hmm.
Bring it up a couple clicks.
Yep. Yeah, at
I used to
500,
watch you coming out their weapon.
yeah. Like I said, at the 500, your dope is more important than your aim. Make sure you get the right dope on that weapon.
Like I said, I had many a times at that little 5-inch spotter, I'd hit and that spotter go.
Yep.
Just drop off because I've hit it and not hit it right as a spindle. knocked it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you knew the
No.
story. I shot a 249, I shot a 247, two 248s, and I was out there one time, and I had a 245, one shot left.
Mm.
And I'm laying there, and everybody's freaking out to see he got it now. He's finally got it. And where I've
Yeah.
always lost the points were in
Donald.
the first 200.
Oh yeah,
Where I
that's
always
what
lost the
everybody.
points.
Everybody loses their
Yeah.
points at the 200 because that offhand is killer. If you
So-
you do all right at the offhand, you get it
Yeah.
made from there.
So I had a perfect 200, and I said, well, this is good. And I
Yeah.
had a perfect 300. I said, this is good. I get back to the 500, and I shoot my first 9 shots, all bulls, right? I'm on my last
Yep.
shot, and I'm sitting there, and I'm all relaxed because I know I'm not worrying about this now. And this is when the Marine Corps, if you hit a perfect 250, you got a leatherneck magazine, you got a gold, your expert medal was gold.
Oh, is that right? Wow.
Yeah, it was gold. You got an M16 given to you. The AR-15, you got one. Leatherneck magazine would get you one,
Mm-hmm.
and all of this. And it's how serious it was. So I turned around, got in there, and I took a breath, and everybody behind us is going crazy, and the warrant officer telling everybody, "Shut up, let him shoot," like this, right? And I'm sitting there, and I said, "I got it, guys. Don't worry about it." And then I went, and the spotter goes, just drops. Everybody's freaking out, and they're not marking the target. Now wait, let me finish. They're not marking the target, right? Warrant officer gunner goes, mark that target.
Yeah.
Like this. He called the target number.
Somebody called a
They
bus.
pulled-
Mark that target.
They pulled it down, came up, and gave me a miss.
Whoa.
Okay, now wait. He said, "Oh hell no." He hollered, "Oh," he didn't say more than hell. He said, "Don't you touch that target. I'm coming to look at it." Like that. Went down. We counted 49 holes in the target.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just went straight
The
through one
last
of the,
one that said number 49 on it
Yeah.
was bigger than the other one and had a split in it.
Of course. That's a double hit.
And you know what he told me?
What?
He looked at it, and the warrant officer in the pit that was running it would not give it to me.
Oh wow. That's jacked
He would
up.
not. He said, "I can't verify that's a hit
Mm-mm.
because of because of what it meant." You know.
Yeah, what it meant, but I'm saying
Stop.
somebody who's hit all day long like that, don't shoot a
When-
Maggie draws.
Oh,
when
you
you've
tell me
already
about
got 9 holes in a bullseye and a target, you're bound to get at least one that hits
Yeah.
the same place.
Yeah.
it. Especially when all that group at the 500 was 2 or 3 inches.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
what they do is they cover it, they circle it, cover it, and mark the number on it.
Right.
And I had number 49, and the next one right where that was. And you can see when the spindle got hit, 'cause I hit the spindle.
Right.
Spindle split, and they had a little tear in the top.
Mm-mm.
And
That's-
he said, "How do I know he didn't hit the carriage and it just fell out?"
Oh wow.
That's what he said. These
Mm-mm.
2 warrant officers went at it.
I bet.
And and was when it was said and done, it was his call. You know, I just said, "That's all right. Don't worry about it." That was actually the last time I ever went to the range.
Mm.
And I was in another 5 years, never went back to the range.
Yeah. 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 I think I shot, highest I shot was 243 one time. And other than that, I was always in the 30s, 235, 237s, stuff like that. I know how you feel. For me, it was always pre-qual day. Man, I would shoot my highest on pre-qual. I've shot in 245, 246 on a pre-qual day. And I'm like, man, I ain't coming back tomorrow.
Yeah. On pre-qual day in boot camp, I shot a 236.
Yeah.
And the drill instructor called me into the office that night. And he told me, he said, "If you shoot the highest in this whole battalion, I will buy you a beer. And you will sit there and drink it tomorrow night." And he looked at me and he said, "What kind of beer you like?" I said, "It says beer on it. As long as it says beer on it." Like that. And he was laughing. And they told me, "You don't have to go out there in the squad base, just chilling here for a while."
Oh,
They had
wow.
me chilling in the hut
Yeah.
for about 2
Yeah.
hours, just talking to me, right?
Yeah.
So I went back next day, shot a 242. highest in the
look-
battalion.
Yeah,
I got there that night. They called me in there. They had a
Mhm.
Coors beer sitting there waiting for me. It was
That's
Olympia
cool.
beer sitting there
Okay.
waiting for me.
that's cool.
I drank that beer, got a buzz. He told me, just go sit over there. We're not gonna mess with you the rest of the day.
Oh, wow.
To be
That's
honest,
cool.
Cool Cat, if the stormtroopers had a 3-round burst on their blasters, they probably would have actually been able to hit something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was on match teams and everything with the Marine Corps. And
Yeah.
that was fun. You go back to 1,000 yards on match teams.
Yeah, 800 and 1,000.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
M14s. God darn it.
Mhm.
You ever shot an M14?
No, never got a chance to shoot one. I played with them enough doing the burial details all the time, but never
Yeah,
got to actually shoot one at a range.
You get out of the range and you have the AR-15s and the M14s, like the Navy fired the M14s.
Mhm.
And they'd have a couple of corpsmen out there qualifying, and we'd be out there qualifying, and you'd hear ours going pap, 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 and then he'll pull a trigger and you hear boom.
Mhm.
Boom. And
Yeah.
when you get that thing on your shoulder and you pull that thing, it's like
Yeah.
boom, it just moves your back.
Yeah.
God darn, I'm glad it changed.
Mm.
That would have been one reason not to go into the Navy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus, Donald. This is the only time I fire a 3-round burst is during sex.
Yeah, in his
Hey,
own
Dre.
dreams.
Dre,
Yes, sir.
I got a question for you, Dre. Is this for real type of thing?
Sell your guns now, get paid. I don't know, Paul. I've never seen it. I'm pretty sure there's
I've never-
always somebody out there want to buy your weapons.
Well, they do that thing with the police departments too, where you can bring it in, no questions asked, and they like give you a gift card or something.
Yeah, that's
Or
what I'm
they'll
saying.
give you, yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I wouldn't
according to
be
this one,
surprised.
you get paid right away and it's cash.
Yeah, but I don't know. Selling guns online?
Nah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it.
My
Too
thing
many
is they
federal
probably,
laws.
yeah, the problem is they probably only give you pennies on the dollar though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that
Yeah.
cash for gold that everybody was doing a few years back.
yeah,
There was a lot of people complaining about that because they would offer, if you could get 1,200 at a pawn shop, they'd try to offer you like 600,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
No, we get leaflets through the door saying cash for your house.
Oh, you
Sell
see
us
those
your-
signs. You'll see people put signs up all over cities doing that, and it'll be written in fucking Sharpie on a whiteboard.
yeah.
Oh,
Like
they call me my cell phone, house number, man. Oh, we interested in one of your properties, such address. So you said I say 1.5 million. Then the phone goes silent.
There it is, Dre. I don't know. Can you see that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw it. What they offer for 550?
500.
That's pretty much near brand new price for that.
It's
Yeah, there's gotta be something else on that.
Tone, which
Yeah,
it is.
I wouldn't trust that.
Yeah,
You'd be better off taking your gun to a gun store and trying to sell it or something.
Yeah, because I
Yeah,
mean
gun store buy it from me.
that sounds too good to be true. They're offering that much money for it.
Sounds like that $100 drone. Did you ever get your money back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What question I have is since I've got only one gun I want to sell, I've had it forever, and never shot the thing, and I'm getting to the age and stage in life. What do I need a gun for? So
Well, this is the thing, Paul, is you can't sell guns on Facebook Marketplace. You can't sell them on eBay. So your best bet is either find a gun store or a pawn shop that buys guns, and that's about your own.
will a gun store buy a gun?
Some
Yeah,
do buy,
some do.
and
Some do.
and then there's
Call 'em
pawn
up
shops
first.
that have licenses to be able to purchase weapons as well, as long as you have all the paperwork with it.
Because I got the concealed carry permit, but
What I would do is I would call them first, tell them what gun you're talking about selling. And then if they say, yeah, they want to look at it, make sure you bring it over there and do not have any ammo in it when you go
Yeah,
in.
and make sure
Well,
you have
here's the
whatever
thing.
paperwork you have.
I
with it.
haven't used this gun at all.
Don't pick it up.
And
Don't show us.
I can't figure out how the hell to get the ammo out of it.
Okay,
Don't
don't,
show us.
don't get near it.
Well, in reality, I would say he could take it in a case and hand it to them and say, I'm not sure how to
Stop.
Well, if you
unload
really-
this gun, and let them take it out of the case and do it. And
If you
don't touch
bought
it, like take it in there in a case and hand them the case and say, hey, I want to get rid of
Yeah,
this, but
that's
I
what I
can't
would do.
remember how to unload it.
Well, yeah, I don't know how to do anything with it. It's got
Don't
a
walk
laser
in there with
sight-
your hand in your hand and be
It's
like,
got
hey,
a
yeah,
laser sight
Hey,
mounted to it
Jason.
and everything.
Hello, Jason from
what's up,
Virginia.
Jason?
It's got a laser sight mounted just underneath the barrel.
Yeah,
You just
Yes,
hit the
but there's
button
There's
below the
pawn
trigger.
shops that have licenses to buy weapons as well. So your two options
but
would
they're
be
not gonna
either,
give you as much.
Paul, you better stop. You're gonna burn the damn sensor in your camera with
Yeah.
the laser. Dan did that not too long ago on his camera. It will fuck the sensors up in your webcam. But no, you either find a pawn shop that has a license to be able to buy weapons, or you take it to the local gun shop. You can call around and just ask them, hey, do you buy guns? And if they say yes, tell them, you know, if you're really not sure how to unload it for safety reasons, I would put it in the case. Take it in there, don't take it out of the case, hand it to them as soon as you walk in
Yeah,
and say,
let
I'm
them
not
do it."
sure how to unload this and I want to get rid of it, and let them take it, and then they'll know exactly what to do with it. Those guys deal with that shit every day.
Hey,
So
Paul, if you're not sure about it, don't try to do it right now, because if you got something in that chamber, you'll be too close to a trigger.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, don't,
Not worth
like I
Trying to
said,
figure it out. Let them figure it out.
yeah,
If you
you could
bought-
take it in there loaded, just make sure it's in a case and you let them know that as soon as you walk in, and hand them the case. Don't take it out of the case. Let them take it out.
If you bought it new, never use it, why would it be loaded?
Because
What's
you're,
the- Because
why would you have an unloaded
why
gun?
would you
just-
have an unloaded gun in the house?
You treat every gun as it's loaded, regardless if you know or not.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, and yeah, if you're buying a gun for protection, you definitely want to have it ready to go just in case. You don't want to tell the burglar, give me a minute, let me load this up.
Yeah, give me
You
a
get a
minute
couple
while I
rounds
load,
on the
yeah.
gun.
Yeah, but it's one that he's never used and he's not likely to use. He uses his other one.
Yeah, but he bought it for protection though, so that's why he would have it preloaded, ready to go. But since he has never used it, to be honest, he's not super proficient with it neither, because he hasn't taken it to the range and
I got
practiced
these
with it.
magazines too.
You should always, I mean, that's one thing you should do if you buy a gun, is definitely go out and fire it, learn it.
Yep.
Even
Well, there's-
learn how to
there's
tear
you-
it apart and clean it and all that.
And they're usually just a slide switch on the back to release the.
I
Paul,
got
don't
two-
show that stuff.
I got two magazines.
You're gonna get your channel banned. Be careful.
But I know there's a magazine in this gun.
Like I said, don't play with it then.
So
Just,
I take this all out to somewhere.
Yeah.
just call around, find some places that are willing to buy it, and then when you walk in there, make sure it is in a locked case. You explain to them, I'm not sure how to unload it. I don't remember. I bought it years
Yeah,
ago. And hand them the case, let them open it up, and then they'll know what to do with it.
You have the original case it came in?
Even if he takes it in a box, as long as
Yeah,
it's
put
not
it in a bag
sitting,
or a box, anything.
as long as he's not holding it when he comes in, and he needs to tell them as soon as he walks in, this gun's loaded, I'm not sure how to unload it, and hand it to them and let them deal with it. They'll have it
Make sure
unloaded.
it's in a bag or a box and not in your hand.
Right. They'll have it, they'll figure it out real quick.
Okay. I mean,
They'll have
I
it.
got
There's the man. What's up, Jason?
I got
Jason, sir,
here's a brand new
holster.
holster.
Jay,
If you do a search on YouTube as to how to take the magazine out of that specific gun, there's probably a video on there already.
Jason, I met a guy online, and you might like to vacation in a spot called Virginia Beach. It's really nice. He always talks
Yeah.
about it.
Oh, he invited you up, Justin?
It's a very nice tourist attraction for sure. There's this great place in Virginia Beach called, I think it's like some type of a indoor facility where people can pretend to skydive. and experience what it's
Yeah,
like to
I
jump out
heard
of
about
airplanes.
that. I heard about
No,
that.
I watched that guy's instructional video when he was talking to his team the other day. A little sketchy though. I wasn't sure about it. I was
Yeah,
like, you know,
yeah, I heard there's a guy that works there, used to be a former naval officer.
And I believe it's got
Sure.
a drone graveyard, hasn't it? Somewhere.
Yeah, that dude's from Virginia Beach, I think, too. Wait a minute.
So Jason, you know, you dropped your Mavic 3 Pro in the water the other
Seen
day. My Avata 2 was buried at sea.
I think Justin mentioned that to the stream the other day. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Were you able to recover it by chance?
No, I got the money back today though.
no,
Oh,
a
nice.
kid offered to jump in the water and get it for him, but he didn't let him. I was like, I would have let him jump in there and try to find it for you.
Because there's
Yeah.
sharks and alligators in the area.
Yeah, I wasn't
Oh,
worried
but
about
that was a son and dad that boat on that water regularly. They knew what they were doing.
Mhm.
I'm sure he wouldn't have let his son jump in the water if it was that dangerous.
That's what they all say. Yeah, I've been
Well,
there
the
100
The
times.
son was offering, the dad wasn't.
You know what they say about how you can tell if there's alligators in the water, though, right?
If it's wet.
Well, what you do is you tap the water, right? You tap the water, and if it feels wet, there's alligators in it.
There you go.
The water's wet. You got alligators in it.
Mhm.
Say that around here.
Yeah.
That's how you do it down there, right? If it's
Same
wet.
way we predict the weather over here. If you can see the hills in the background, it's going to rain. If you can't see them, it's already raining.
That's like my weather rock.
Is that
That's
kind of like the pet rock?
The pet rock, yeah, exactly. And then they turn those things to be electronic. What was it? What were they called? Tamagotchis or something like that?
Yeah.
Oh, those are still popular now. But they
Really?
were real popular back when I was a kid, yeah. But
Wow.
they've made a comeback a couple of times.
Oh, interesting.
My daughter at the elementary school, a lot of kids were getting back into them like last year.
Mm.
All right, on. Cool.
I remember back when I was in elementary school, man, you'd see like 10 of them on somebody's backpack. Like they were super popular back then. I never really
Yeah.
got into them. I was never really into that or Pokemon cards when I was a kid. Everybody else was, but never really got into
Right?
that.
It's pretty amazing. I mean, I guess there's a market for it for collectors and stuff like that, right? I mean,
Well,
there's a market for everything,
Well,
right?
Pokemon cards definitely are doing against, because I know a lot of the trading card industry, like baseball cards and football cards, have taken a big hit over the years because people just aren't into it like they were back in the day. But Pokemon cards still have a big market. Especially if they're graded, if you have them professionally graded,
Right.
yeah, there's a big market for those. One matter of fact, the one that Jake Paul wears around his neck that he displays all the time, that one's worth $1 million. And he has it in a special case on a chain that he wears around his neck. Now, he's a bit of a douche, but still. Yeah, there's some Pokemon cards out there that are worth a lot of money.
That's the problem with the ones my kids have. I got stacks of them, but they were never graded, and they played with them.
But that's the thing, is a lot of stuff like that, if the younger generation's heavily into it, that's where the money's gonna come from. Like back when you guys were kids, baseball cards and stuff were really big.
Yeah.
But these days kids aren't really into baseball cards and stuff, but they're into the Pokemon cards, which drives a market for them, you know? Because
Right.
parents are spending tons of money. I mean, a pack of Pokemon cards ain't cheap. You get like 10 of them in a pack and you pay like anywhere between sometimes $5 to $10 for one pack.
How many
So
cards are in
they're
a
not-
pack?
I think there's like anywhere between 5 or 10 or something. I can't remember exactly the amount.
Snap.
It's
For
not
real?
that many. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, they're a rip-off.
But yeah, because of the younger generation being heavily into Pokemon, it does drive a larger market for it. So,
Do you still get bubble gum with them?
oh no, that's
Baseball
not a
cards?
thing anymore.
I don't
know,
think they put the
baseball.
bubblegum in baseball cards anymore.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I know Pokemon cards never came with bubblegum in them, but yeah, I don't think that's a thing anymore.
Yeah, that's old school.
You can
Mm.
find a
I'm reaching
pack
back
from,
into the memories. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember the bubble gum and the baseball cards.
do like Art did and give somebody a pack from like the 80s that has an old dried up piece of fucking petrified piece of gum in it.
Like Tammy Gunn got, and she opened it, and she bit into the gum, and it turned to powder.
Yeah, that's well. And think about it too. I remember gum being in baseball cards even when I was a kid, and half the time the gum was already stale by the time you bought the cards.
Yeah.
So you imagine 30 years later somebody opening a pack with a piece of bubble gum in it. Yeah, it's probably fucking nasty as hell.
We used to have football cards and racing, Formula One racing card,
Yeah.
and they used to have the ones that were sticky back that you used to peel
Oh, where'd
off.
Trent
And,
go?
He dropped off.
How'd your day go today, Jason?
Oh, it's pretty good. I taught another STEM program to some. It was actually a Cub Scout group. Talking about the STEM, right?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Concepts of how people fly inside of a wind tunnel, or as related to jumping out of airplanes, sorcery, trickery, enchantment, and magic.
Well, what I know as STEM is all technologically based. Like that's what they call STEM programs at schools and stuff. It's usually teaching kids like computers or robotics.
Oh yeah, no, for
Usually
sure.
has something to do with
Technology, engineering, and
yeah,
mathematics.
yeah. So you guys took STEM and kind of revamped it for something else.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Kinda
there's
to
STEM in
go.
everything that we do. Just generally speaking, and that's, the idea is to, I guess, as a field trip for these elementary school kids through high school, if they've not figured out what they think they want to do for future studies or what they want to be in the future, it's a, if you will, encouragement to show them how fun and cool STEM can be and how some of the principles that we use and do on a daily basis are actually STEM related. Like, for example, for example, I'll take a hose and I'll ask them who has a garden hose at home, and you take
Right.
the nozzle off the hose. What happens to the water when it comes out of the hose? It just falls out, right? And if you
Right.
want to spray your mom or your dad or the cat or the dog or your best friend, what do you have to do if you don't have a nozzle? You put your thumb on it.
Over.
Exactly. And so what effectively you've done is you've compressed the space for the
What's up,
water to
Lisa?
flow through, decrease in pressure, increase in velocity of the water, and that's Bernoulli's principle. And they're just like, whoa, some of them anyway, right? And I relate that to the wind tunnel because there's a part in there that's called the inlet contractor that effectively does that with the wind because it's only 40 miles per hour down in the basement, and I can get 160-mile-per-hour winds in the flight chamber itself. And
You
so
create a story.
Me and Thomas did
Yeah.
Boy Scouts a few years back for about 6 months, but I'm gonna be honest, me and him didn't enjoy it because the people that were running it here were very uptight, kind of richy people, and
Mhm.
and we didn't have fun because I don't know, it's just the attitude that they had, and
Yeah.
we ended up Thomas didn't want to do it anymore.
No, I get that 100%. In
Yeah.
fact, if it's something you think you guys might enjoy, look for another troop because I'll submit that the lessons, the skills, the values that these young men and now that they've opened it up to the girls, that these young women learn from scouting will serve them very well in the future. I was an Eagle Scout growing up. My son's an Eagle Scout also now. And there's and I had one of those troops also that I was not happy with, but my son was happy with it because he was there with his friends and they would go camping. And I eventually took over and became the scoutmaster for it. And as funny as it sounds, not that I tried to change anything with the troop, but I wanted to at a minimum uphold the standard. Because our troop they were known to be an Eagle factory where the kids they would just get sign-offs for like a
Right.
little bit, but they would forget the skills. And I didn't want that. I wanted to ingrain, I wanted them to master the skills, for example, of tying knots, of making a fire, of camping, of being self-reliant and independent. But of course, some parents just did not like that. And I mean, my son was an Eagle Scout anyway already, so he eventually left the troop, I guess his freshman year in high school. For another reason as well, because you know what they say about high school too, right? Once they it's about the fumes, right? They don't have time for scouts anymore. You talk about the car fumes and the perfumes.
Well,
Yeah.
I've said that before that, when it comes
Yeah.
to like scouts and stuff like that, yeah, they tend to drop out usually when they hit around high school. I would say you're probably your rate of actually people becoming Eagle Scouts is probably a small percentage, right?
Oh
Because so
yeah, I
many
mean,
kids drop out
they say that
after.
maybe 2% of all scouts they follow through and become an Eagle Scout. And some will become an Eagle Scout very quickly, and some will wait until the very end. I was one of those kids that waited to the very end. I was still in scouting. I was halfway active in scouting in high school, but I wanted to do it because I knew it would look good on my college applications and, future applications for work. I know that being an Eagle Scout, I would always, if I see that the applicant is an Eagle Scout to be a flight instructor or staff member at iFly Virginia Beach, for me, it was an automatic hire because I knew that they, at a minimum, I believed that they had some level of self-reliance and independence and understood what values are, So typical. I mean, is that the case with every single Eagle Scout? Not necessarily, but you put them in an environment with other Eagle Scouts, and that is a nurturing environment. I believe that we set them up for success as youth.
Well,
And
Thomas ended up getting in an ROTC in high school, and he seems to
nice.
like that. So
That's
he
awesome
didn't.
too. Future military man, you think?
I don't know, but he really was apprehensive about wanting to join it when he started ninth grade, but then he got through the year and now he wants to do it again next year. So it seems to have caught on. So
Nice.
he kind of, I think, getting his little medals and his different achievements, I think kind of boosted his confidence in it, because he felt
Right.
proud of himself to get that,
Right on.
So
What grade is he in now?
he'll be going into 10th grade this year.
That's
This
awesome.
next year. He's
Well
on summer
done.
break now, but yeah.
Yeah, right. Do you know what college? Does he know what college he wants to go to yet?
No, but I told him and his sister that's something we definitely need to start discussing in their junior year at the latest,
Right.
Need to start figuring out where they want to go, because it's good to start putting out college applications at least a year to 2 years before you exit high school.
Yeah, no, for
and
sure.
figuring out what you want to do and all that. So, but
Yeah,
like I told Thomas, he really wants to, he's very interested in culinary. And I said,
Okay.
well, if you're like an ROTC, I said, you could always go in the military, get a thing through them. What is it, the GI Bill or whatever? Isn't that what
Mhm.
it is? Where you can get
Right.
that and then they can pay for you to go learn that. And then you don't have to pay nothing out of pocket. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I was like, because culinary is not an easy thing to get into. You may go waste $100,000 going to culinary arts school and then not do anything with it. But at least
That's
on that
true.
case, you might go and then not do anything, but at least you won't be out all that money,
Oh, 100% agree. Yeah. No, that's it. Those are all very good considerations. And I mean, who knew, who knew that I'd be in the job that I'm in now, for one, and that has nothing to do with mechanical engineering, And that's my degree. I've got a BS in mechanical engineering. And when I graduated college, I did not do anything engineering related, at least from a, professional engineer's perspective. I'm not doing anything engineering wise now. And I've had this, I'm actually on my fourth career, this iFly thing, this indoor skydiving thing, which has been awesome. Now I'll submit that the lessons I learned in becoming an engineer have served me very well from a perspective of they taught me how to solve problems, which is what I do on a regular basis. So it's not necessarily just the knowledge of being an engineer, but the skill of really solving problems and getting down to the the nitty-gritty of things at the same time also. So yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like my son. My son's got a kinesiology degree, and all he did was his stuff in at the unit at the physical therapy, and then he went straight into the military.
All right.
So now he's an aircraft maintenance officer. He's not going to use kinesiology.
Not yet, but at least he's got that under his belt so that
Yeah.
he could fix himself anyway, right?
Yeah.
No, if you will, I've got an applied kinesiologist that's effectively my doctor now, and I mean, she started her own business, and I've been working with her for the last 10 years and just fixing my body. In fact, My son had a concussion during wrestling, and she did some tip tap tipperoo, on his head, adjusted his back, and he was. I mean, not we followed proper high school concussion protocol. 5 days of rest, but
Right.
he was ready to go the next day. Pretty awesome what these kinesiologists can do for sure.
Yep. And his wife used to work there also, so she's got all of the physical therapy background. So
Oh,
they
is
could
that
open
what
up a
that
business
is?
together.
Is that what that is like a physical therapist type? I've never heard that particular title before.
Kinesiologist.
Yeah,
Um,
is
Somewhat.
it's kind of like a physical therapist.
Kind of, I mean,
Yeah.
they can get, I mean, it's just a degree. It's a study of, human movement effectively.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kinetic.
Now, let me ask you, is it a something that the medical field, like doctors and stuff, recognize? Because I know I've heard a lot of doctors bash the crap out of freaking chiropractors
Right.
over the years
You know what?
because they don't really agree with that, and they say chiropractor is really not that great of a.
You know what the
It's
funny
not.
thing is? I don't,
Uh,
yeah, yes, they would. They probably would bash them, but at the same time, I would, I do not like private medicine in the first place either. What a racket,
right.
Yeah.
And if, to those that are, doctors on the stream, hopefully your practice is not one where you're overcharging your clients because you know that the insurance company is going to pay you those rates and increase, and it's this crazy cycle. It's absolutely ridiculous, private medicine in America.
Well, I
And
have what is it? Degenerative disc disease.
yeah.
So I was talking to my doctor and I was asking her about chiropractor, and she really did not. She was like, don't go to that. She's like, stay away from them. She goes, that's really not that great for you. She goes, we have other methods of physical
That-
therapy and stuff we'll put you through that will
Like-
work better.
That's possibly
And
true because of the way the chiropractor manipulates your body could just cause more damage to your discs than actually do them any good.
well, she that's kind of the way she was kind of adamant about it. She was like, she goes, yeah, some people do feel really good afterwards. She goes, but then it's just constant. You have to keep going back and back and back. And she goes, and we don't really in modern medicine as a doctor, she goes, I don't really believe in chiropractor. She goes, we have other methods of physical therapy that we could do with you.
Yeah,
that would
no,
help.
it depends on the person, I mean, so coming from a guy that fell off a 3-story building and was paralyzed from the neck down.
Right.
Yeah. Right. I was injured pretty badly and I've had, PTSD, TBI. It took years for me to recover, but I exclusively go to either the VA for healthcare or this private kinesiologist chiropractor to give me adjustments when I need them. Right. When I feel I need them, because I also know my body. I'm also pretty physically fit, And so it depends on the person from a standpoint of what they think and feel they need. I don't go to a doctor, because I don't
So-
believe in what they can do for me from a standpoint of I feel that they're just going to prescribe me this and that, and next, there's this medicine and that medicine, and you know what? I've went down that road before with the PTSD, and I don't take any pills for that now.
This is
and
what I
I'm
feel.
great. I can sleep, and no headaches. But it took a while. It takes the body takes time to recover at the same time. And I believe that my chiropractor and kinesiologist and holistic healer has helped me along that line. Now, the key is the relationship that one has and their belief in that person helping them out. Because one doesn't believe that they're getting the right treatment. Well, they're not even halfway to getting well in the first place, So you have to trust your healthcare provider for one also.
And you know what I feel about the VA, because I've had a lot of family members that have had to deal with a lot of the red tape and their bullshit. I really think they need to just get rid of the VA altogether, give you guys fully paid insurance, and let you go to wherever doctor you want to go to.
You know what? I love the VA, and I disagree with that because
Only because
I believe
I've
that
had
I'm being taken care of, and I do not want the VA to go away. going to a private doctor, regardless of the government paying for it, I don't think that they're going to take care of me the way that the VA is taking care of me. You know,
Cause I've
having
I've had a couple family members that have had a lot of issues with them over the years. And I just think, and I've heard
I
a
get
lot
it.
of veterans say that they would rather be able to pick their doctor and go to who they want to, which I think that should be a thing. Like if you don't want to go to the VA, I think you should, even if they keep the VA, I think you should have the right to
That's a
go
good compromise.
outside the VA
Yeah.
and say, you know, I don't want to deal with the doctors here, but I want to go to this doctor over here.
Right.
And as a veteran, I think they should pay for it, plain and simple.
Yeah,
Because
no,
you
it's
guys,
that's a good
did your
compromise.
part.
That's an idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. In fact, I do know that if I were to go to the emergency room, you know, that wasn't the VA would take care of the bill,
Right.
for example. You know, I
Well,
mean,
you don't have no choice. I mean, emergency room, you may have to go to that one right away because that's the closest one
right,
to your house,
exactly.
right? So
But the
that makes
VA
sense.
would pay for that. In fact, there are some programs where the VA doesn't have a chiropractor, but you put in the paperwork, and yes, there is a lot of red tape, but the red tape exists because there's a lot of fraudulent activity that occurs at the same time also, right? But one can get their outside healthcare provided for them but they've got to follow the process to get approvals for that, like for outside treatment, you know.
I've had a few family members that have had to deal with them on a regular, you know, that were really bad off, like Sarah's dad. You know, he had
Mm.
multiple strokes and was always having to go there, and it just was always a big pain in the ass, you know,
Oh yeah,
it's,
you know what?
to
If
get
it's
anything done.
It is, you know, it's a big pain. You know, would that pain be the same level if they did outside care? You know, it could be just the same, but more expensive. At least the VA is free for at least for the veteran. You know.
Yep.
And if it's free, I'll take 3.
If it's free, it's for
Well,
me.
my-
yeah.
If it's free,
My
it's for me,
insurance
said
agent-
Dominic. Heck yeah, exactly.
If it's $1, don't holler.
Yeah,
Exactly. But
the guy
you know,
that does my
it comes down
insurance,
to their experience and what their tolerance for, you know, for the bureaucracy is, because it is government funded. It's government run, and I'm lucky. I feel lucky and blessed that I have that ability for me, because I mean, we still pay for private health insurance because my wife has it. You know, for our son, because my son can't use the VA. My wife started using the VA now, and she's been, you know, taken care of very well. And she's like, why didn't I start coming here in the first place? Well, it's probably because you had a good relationship with your private medicine facility, which is perfectly fine too. But that's why we had the health insurance plan that we do.
All right, I gotta jump off here because I got a thing to do in a half hour, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump off
Catch
as
y'all
well.
It's
later.
time for you to play some Fortnite, Justin.
Well, we're starting this thing where we're doing an hour live panel and then we start doing the gaming after that, so.
That's at
Right
8
on,
o'clock.
nice.
8 o'clock.
Well, see you later, Justin.
Yeah,
I'm
I'll
out
catch
as
y'all
well.
later.
So
Okay.
I'm calling it if you want
Hey,
to.
like we're
Dominic.
calling it.
Dominic's
see y'all
calling it.
later.
We're gonna call it. Everybody take care.
We're calling it.
Jason, have a great
Later,
day.
Jason.
Yes.
Hey, Jason.
See you guys later on. Have a good one.
Mark.